Sure. Yeah, very true. Yeah, I would be very surprised if there wasn't a Graves ban. Yeah. Yep. Dev was real. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Week 2, Game 2 for Team Vert is the Word versus Team Coin Flip. I'm joined by Sir Aaron here in the booth, as it were. Looking forward to some great games tonight. Aaron, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. It's going to be an exciting night, if I do say so myself. We've got two of some very, very prolific teams here in Team Coin Flip, and Vert is the Word, obviously. Vert is the Word, with your team captain being Blood, Blath, and Beyond, and then obviously Team Coin Flip being the one and only Avarn.
Yeah, absolutely. Prolific is the word for it for sure. I think Abarn and Blood have been playing in this group of players since its inception, as far as I can recall, at least a few years now. So the teams are pretty stacked up. It looks like it's going to be an interesting series. I'm wondering if you have any predictions or hot takes going into this draft. Looks like
Yeah,
we're
I
about to
think
jump into it.
it's going to be a lot dictated on game plan, because I think both of these teams have very, very strong players. I think it will come down to how the teams think that they can win. If that's, do we ban out the carry on their team, or do we maybe just try to enable the carry on our team? If I were A-Barn's team, I would just ban out top laners. I think, like we saw, I think it was a couple days ago, we saw Wally in the top lane actually get some good advantages there on Blood because they just hard focus top, and
Mhm.
they I think they did win a game if I remember. Um, and so that's what I think you need to do for Abarn's team. Just hard focus top lane without Blood scaled up. I think you can put yourself in a really good spot. And I think in the same front for Vert is the word, just focus Abarn. If he's not on a champion he's comfortable on, if he's playing something that he can't really get some kind of advantage on, I don't think that team really can do much because I think Abarn is literally that team in more ways than one. So hard focus Abarn, hard ban him out. I would have loved to see 3 bans here for Abarn. Obviously, Rise is good. Anivia was already taken away from by Abarn's team, so I think
Yeah.
already knocking down a few of those champs is a good way to go.
I'm surprised you wanted to see the big triple ban. I feel like Abarn has been talking all season about all these different picks that he can play, and he could pull out just anything from the roster. And oh, wow, straight into it. Interestingly, sorry, I feel like we kind of skipped over this, but the Darius was left up, which historically is something Blood has been very wont to play, and it's been banned against him almost every game. And obviously, in this case, in this instance where it was left up for even a moment, they took the opportunity to first pick it, and they grabbed the set. Do you know much about that matchup?
I'm pretty sure this will be favored in the set for the early games, since I think set can just get too much auto attacks out before the Darius can stack to get his
Interesting.
passive. But once you get to level 6, I think Darius can outplay, since he will be able to withstand some of that, some of set's damage. Since
Sure,
like, second obviously just get that E on you in the wave, and
sure.
then he'll
Gets
just
the
get too many
stacks going,
autos.
gets
Yeah.
the healing. It's a
But
passive,
this will
right?
definitely be a fun one to see because I know that Blood really likes Set. So
He
it's fun
does.
to see Hippogriff take down response. But obviously, moving forward from that, we see the Kaiser taken over there by Abarn's team. And then we see the bot lane duo in the Jhin and Morgana for Verge the Word.
Yeah, just so. We are absolutely flying through this pick ban. Uh, of note, I would say, is that the Kai'Sa was prioritized higher than the Jin in this case. So I think kind of the story of the TCL so far has been just who gets Jin versus who gets Kai'Sa. And it seems like Jin has kind of edged out and had more of those like real playmaking, kind of show stopping performances. Um, but instead, Team Coinflip has opted to choose the Kai'Sa instead of the Jin.
Yeah, I think both of those champions both have different objectives that they want
Sure.
to do to win, right? I think Kai'Sa is very, very good. You can build the Kraken Slayer, tank killer, very strong. Obviously, she has lots of ways to sustain. She's got ult, she's got E, and obviously with Gale Force, you can do a lot there. Jhin obviously is more of a supportive AD carry with most of his W and his ult for the
Sure.
long range. So I think maybe that Abarn team maybe wanted that more of a kind of safer bot lane in Kai'Sa to maybe withstand the pressure that you know Devious and Reform Billy might be putting on. And then the other
Sure.
side, obviously, if they take away the Kai'Sa, you might as well just pick the Jhin because that's the next best AD carry.
Right, absolutely. I can definitely agree that these are probably 1 and 2 right now, at least. Some interesting bans have been flung back and forth. We see not only the Akali, but also the Lilia, something that Caridian has been pretty excited to play, I think, in the past few days, at least, if his solo queue is any indicator. And the Hecarim was taken away as well, though I don't think TJ has really been playing it that much. And at least picked up for Caridian, a very strong early pick.
Yeah, I think I like this in theory. I want to see how it's actually applied to in the game because obviously Elise is an early game jungler. You want to see her ganking right away. Obviously having set with the 80 damage top is going to be a perfect matchup. So if they can hard just camp blood, I think that's what they need to do to win. But if this Elise doesn't get anything going and there's an Olaf in response, this could be a very, very rough game because that Olaf can just run over the Elise and it's going to be a sight to see if it happens.
Yeah, no, certainly. They are definitely looking to make something happen on that pick early. Oh, wow, they're hovering the Lux. Is that what it's going to be? He has drawn quite a few bans. That is, wow, the Lux mid locked in. I'm kind of hoping for a Lucian pick here. My heart tells me it's Lucian.
It would be good in the sense of just AD. It would be great to see
It's
Abel on something like
Yasuo.
that. Yasuo would be fun to see as well. There's not really much knockup on that team, so I don't think I would want to see the Yasuo unless, now make it a good bubble. But I mean, Aurelia is fine too. You just dive onto the Lux. I think obviously ooh,
Okay,
I
the
like
dude
that.
lock in.
It is a Zed or bed kind of game. I don't know if I've never seen Amar play Zed, so I'm curious to see how this can turn out.
Abarn loves this pick, man. He loves to bust it out. He loves to absorb as much gold as possible, be it from kills, farm, neutral objectives, whatever, and just going like 20-0 on this champ and making the flashiest plays possible, starting immediately. So I think there's going to be a lot of pressure. I would expect Caridian probably to start a pretty fast level 3 path, right? Probably like buff Gromp or something of that nature, and then looking to make something happen with Zed, and maybe even Set. I could see them like shoving the wave and roaming early or something like that to get on this Olaf, and Lux, of course.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
immobile picks here from Virtus the Word.
So how do you feel about both of these drafts here? Who do you think has the edge in this game one?
Oh, I gotta say I don't care for the Lux pick because I just don't like it in general. It's very immobile. She kind of throws her like two abilities out pre-6, and it's like, oh well, if they didn't hit, they didn't hit. You really have to be hitting the skill shots, I think, on that champion for her to be strong. And there's a lot of interesting mobility from Team Coinflip here to kind of dodge out of those things with the Z Shadow, the Z Ultimate, the Elise jump, all that jazz. Kaiser R, just naming a few. But I gotta say, the later it goes, the more I like Virtus the Words comp.
Yeah,
What are
I
your
think I
thoughts
would
on it?
I would agree with that. That Lux pick I don't love because obviously you can just pick Zed and Zed can just, get on top of you and Lux can't really do anything if she misses her Q. So I think that's going to be a very volatile matchup. And I think Abarn might be able to excel in that. Especially if you have the Elise just perma robing and just diving you. You can't really do anything at that point. I do really like Virtus the Words team because of how two sides it is, because obviously Olaf very very good early game, whereas Jin
Mhm.
can obviously scale into the game very very late. So I think they've got some good early, some good late, but both these teams don't really have a true tank. There's not really like anything that can really withstand a ton of damage. Set can do only so much until he gets his face breaker, but after that, there's not really much on either side. Since if Olaf doesn't really get out early, he can kind of just get blown up pretty fast. So I'll be very curious to see how both of these teams will do in the early game because I think that's going to honestly dictate who wins.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the early game is going to for sure dictate who wins this game. Maybe as soon as the like 20-minute mark or something like that. Like if you just blanked out all the player names and you just looked at the comps, just look at like how many different ways they can get rolling. Like Darius could get a kill at like level 2 or whatever, just classic Darius things. Olaf could pop off in a 1v9. It's the same situation I feel for Set, Elise, and Zed. And I think it's really going to come down to who has that stronger pressure early and who can clinch those first couple of kills, maybe around Scuttle Crab. Maybe it's going to be some like big convergence in one of the lanes with like 2 or 3 people. Um, and that's what I think is going to decide this game. I definitely don't think it's a game that's going to go very late. That's my take.
Yeah, I probably agree with you too, especially considering the bot lane, since I think the Nami was picked after the Jin Morgana, and the Nami I think kind of picked herself, since Morgana basically nullifies all that Nami can do. Like you don't get a knock up for the ult or the bubble with the Morgana shield. So and
Hmm.
also if you just get caught by the Morgana Q, Jin can follow up with the W, and then you kind of just die. So I don't really like the Nami. I think there could have been a lot better champions here. Like you could have just picked a tank bot, and like I think this would have been a much better team comp. Um,
True.
so I think like if they play bot side more, and TJ just runs down there and just perma dives, like the game's just over because like once Nami and Kaiser are behind, like they're never coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Kaiser absolutely does come back, but I think the argument is more that once Olaf gets ahead, there's like no slowing him down.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Um, I fully feel that. Also, it can't be pointed out enough, like how much catch potential there is on this Virtus the Word team composition. Like if you get hit by just a stray like Olaf Q or something, it's like not very difficult to hit, and then that gets followed up by a Lux binding, followed up by a Morg binding, followed up by the stupid Jin W, whatever that move is called. That's like cumulatively 100 years of CC all at once. They're once they get you down, it seems like they will have no problem holding you down.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, yeah. I mean, you get cut up by anything on that squad, and I think they're just gonna, permanently see you, and you are
Hmm.
dead.
Hmm.
And I think there's a lot of very very precise play needed for A Barnes team, in landing the Elise Cocoon, and then you have to immediately follow up and try to blow someone up. I think Burst is the name of the game, especially, playing something like a Zed, playing something, like a Kaiser, just, you can ult in, sack that Q, and
Mhm.
hopefully, you get blown up. But early game, we see,
Absolutely.
an invade here, by Ver is the word, just getting some deep vision, maybe looking for anyone to catch out, but Abarn's team decide to go bot side, their own little, preparation, so
Both teams with the
resets.
early stack. Jin needs to get out of there.
Yeah, people will be able to back in time. Blood just chilling in the pixel bush, seeing if everyone's going to walk up, but looks like they're just going to
Mhm.
push out their top jungle, make sure no one else is, standing around. But not much happening here besides some deep vision in the early game.
Absolutely. Love this vision coming out from Verge is the word. They're going to have basically perfect knowledge of Caridian's path. And obviously after he leaves blue side, but they're going to know exactly where he is and when he is. Because if they don't see him in one of those wards soon, he will be kind of expected, I think, to be crossing over into a gank or into the bottom side of the jungle.
Yep.
Uh, Interestingly, don't look now, but Elise does not have it.
Oh, that is a very unfortunate mistake there. She will reset though after picking up her blue. Actually, I'm not sure. She still have a wand. I'm not sure if she got the blue. Maybe just a spectator bug, but well, no, she has CS, so I think she got a blue. She's maybe not
Yeah,
on the
I believe
scoreboard.
she took the blue, but critically without the jungle item, you don't get that bonus XP. So she is still level
Ah,
1, which is going to be, I think, a low tempo start for the Elise pick. Something that they were hoping would be much more explosive and quick to battle. Um,
yeah.
but now she's going to be 2 buffs here and only level 2, and she will not be able to get level 3, I believe.
Yeah,
On
level 2
this game.
Prio here for the bot lane. Usually not coming out there on Spurg and not in response onto Reform Blade. They get level 2 Prio. That was a nice good advantage. Kaisa and Nami will pick up the level 2. But this is definitely the advantage of Burgers the Word. Devious trying to step up with that pull shot on Jin, but one more Morgana binding could result in a kill here.
I like the trade as well, but if they play it slow in that bot lane, the Nami sustain will probably come through, and I think they're going to shrug off most of that early poke in a way that Bully and Devious will not be able to. Ooh, Bird getting a nice little binding at level 3 here.
Yep, can't really follow up though, as you're only level 3. Not much damage there for the Lux just of yet. But yeah, that at least losing that jungle item kind of destroys the whole entire early game aspect. That's a nice Nami bubble landed onto Reform Bully, but a binding in response will most likely result in the death of Bromance. Zella 1 HP will flash away and get away, so not too bad, but Blur's the worst team will definitely be very, very happy with that, since there is only one summoner spell left here in the bot lane. That's Kaisa's Flash, so they'll be looking to most likely take down that Nami shortly after they set back up in lane.
Absolutely, they're playing so far forward in that lane. Like they know that they are just running the show bot lane right now. Bully and Dev, they have no fear of this Elise, who they believe they assumed started bottom and would not be bottom.
Yeah, Abart is here though, so TJ is going to just get absolutely blown up. So that is going to be a nice first blood there onto Abar, definitely love to see that, especially with that Elise already so far behind. So,
That's
TJ
fantastic.
maybe thought he could kill since Elise was a level down, but Abarn had the wave pushed in, which meant he was closer to the roam, and unfortunately, Verd does not have as much movement abilities as Caridian now might be looking for a gank onto Verd.
That's right. They're definitely leveraging those early game picks. You think they're going to get this catch onto Verd? Nah, looks like Caridian just going to grab that scuttle, grab that XP. And it looks like I was wrong. He did actually get level 3 on that third camp, the Krug still. So I guess the excess XP from that larger camp is still enough. So maybe not the best start, but possibly not the worst either. No worse for wear. He survived the gank. Olaf is now flashless. He just has the pickaxe.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, Caridian coming back to your mid. They did. Oh, that is a huge miss there. If Caridian hit that, that would have been a death of a Lux.
Oh.
And I think we saw. We didn't see it. I have it off screen. Lux blew her flash. I'm not sure where it happened. But that, if Caridian lands that cocoon, that is definitely a kill onto Verd. Did pop the barrier there just in
Yeah.
case. Not sure if that was necessary. But, Abarn will need to flash away since he stayed a little bit too long in the tower.
Yeah, that was gaming, man. A couple of flash skill shots all missed, and Verd sliding out of there, no worse for wear. He's totally fine, just having to use barrier, which is a price I think he's willing to pay at this point.
Yeah, a little bit of a messy early game though, obviously at least having a bit of a,
Hmm.
into little play there, not buying the jungle items, and Avar staying too much in the tower. But, it's been a very explosive early game, I would say. Lots of flash blowns, a lot of summon
Yeah.
spells down, so we'll have to see how these teams decide to play around those abilities. As we see Caridian now in the bot lane, there is vision, so she'll be able to get away. Bonding will miss, nice little sidestep there. Cocoon will land onto Morgana, I'm not sure if they can blow him up in time. At least we'll get some
Oh,
damage, go up into the safety of her spider form, and just some damage here traded from the bot side.
yeah, just giving a little bit of pressure. Unfortunately, he was walking through a ward, and he still does have the yellow trinket. Interestingly, he did not base, I believe, after placing that level 1 ward to swap, which is kind of unfortunate, because you do get that reduced cooldown, and I think in general it just helps her a lot to have that red sweeper, especially for moments like that. Just knowing that they know, or knowing that they don't know, can be quite
Yeah, top
positive.
side though, there could be a dive. There is blood level 6, and Korean actually, not Korean, I apologize. Hippogriff just lands level 6. Will ult onto TJ, kill TJ. Should be able to run back under tower to safety. That is a bit of a another just
Eat?
yeah. I mean yeah, kind of an int there by TJ. He was level 5. It was a perfect timing for a gank. That nice E there.
What's more?
Blood. We should be able to get away fine. We'll try to get that Q to get some health, but you see Zed roaming up here, trying to maybe catch Blood out before he resets. If he goes for a lazy back in the bush, maybe no, he will walk under tower to safety. But yeah, I would say this is just a messy early game. But on the other side of the map, Caridian will steal the dragon away. So right now, Abarn's team is doing very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think considering all of the things that were, I guess like you could say like the tragedy of errors that were the first few minutes of this game, they are doing quite well for themselves, snagging a quite early dragon, 2 kills to none, a couple of CS differentials here. Like maybe it's not so even in the top lane or in the jungle farm wise, but with those extra kills to kind of pad the gold there, things are looking about even for them. We're within like 200 or 300 gold here, so they're doing it.
Yeah, and props to Spurg too, since they've been pushed in most of this game, and the Kaisa is up in farm right now, about 10 CS up. Very, very nice on that part,
Yes.
since you've almost died 2 different times to that just the 2v2 power of the Jhin and the Morgana. So honestly, with the mistakes that have happened, this has been a pretty decent early game for Abarn's team. So I'm very interested to see how they will try to transition themselves into the mid game, see how they will maybe try to play around the Elise still. And yeah, right now Hippogriff doing his job. There's a great ult into the E to quickly kill the Olaf. TJ now having a bit of an unfortunate early game, not what you want to see O2 on the Olaf, but he can definitely recover.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This character, once he finishes his core items, is an absolute machine. Once he gets the Gorge Raker and the Sterix going, there's not many fights in the game that he can't take. It's quite disgusting, and I'm sure TJ knows that. But he's absolutely. Ooh.
Yeah, another binding land onto Bromanzilla. There is level 6 onto the Jhin, so you could look for an ult. There is a level 6 though on Kaisa as well. No level 6s on the support. Actually, Bromanzilla will get it, so 5 stacks though, topside. Hippogriff will be able to just walk safely on the tower. No risk of death there, but there's always, it's super, super close to a kill. Not just yet, but maybe it will come shortly as we see TJ with another invade. Abarn and Elise could just quickly rotate over. Abarn will see him, yep. The Elise is just pinging. We do see Hippogriff walking down. Blood is coming as well. Lugs is now here joining the fight, but he will just be able to walk out safely as, they're pinging on to Blood. I'm not sure if Blood is aware of the 3-man gank coming, but that's an ultimate there. Ultimate again from there, and Abarn will take down Blood, totally unaware of what was about to happen. So, and actually, bot side, we've got another fighting. Ultimate there on Kaisa. Spurg will be taking down Reform Bully. One more auto needed. Flash away, but Spurg will get that kill. Defias now trying to get something in return. He needs 2 more autos on the Kaisa, but that is a double kill going over to Spurg. This is the incredible early game here from Abarn's team.
Dude, the 5-0 start, the dragon, everything is coming up aces here. It's not done now, I think.
And there might be another one. Yeah, the ultimate there coming out from the Lux. Abarn will have to flash away from nothing right there, since it ultimate did come down for Lux. But they will both live, almost taking down TJ again. So definitely Team Coinflip will be happy to get with that, no problem. Nice little side step there.
Dodge.
Get himself away. Should be able to, maybe just bait the Elise to come back, or just, get the CS to reset. But actually pinging there, we could see A kill coming in from Caridian, just needs to hit the cocoon. Elise walking up. Does have flash on the side of Verd. We'll have to just wait. Cocoon not up yet. A-Barn waiting. We do see a great double root there. Actually goes in for the flash. A-Barn so low HP. Verd is almost able to kill them, but A-Barn with another kill. That was so close from the side of Verd, but Reform Bully now trying to maybe get something back, but unfortunately too little, too late. We'll throw the binding maybe to try to catch Caridian. Unfortunately will not land, but wow, great job here from A-Barn, especially in this early game.
Yeah, it is happening. He is 3-0. He's completed his Duskblade. Spurgy as well, who has nearly perfect farm, by the way. 2-0. He's done with the Kraken Slayer as well. This is a huge power spike for Team A-Barn, and I mean, it's already been a pretty crazy early game. I am only expecting them to hit the gas more from here.
We see another Cocoon land there onto Reform Billy. Caridian with a great follow-up there. We'll take down Reform Billy. Spurg is here now, but there is an ultimate coming there from the Jin. Caridian very, very low HP. Spurg will just be blocking as we do see a TP coming in here now. Blood will take down Bromanzilla as he does flash in, gets the reset there. Spurg will be slowly falling here as he will die to him again. Hippogriff now comes with A-Barn as well. There's a big team fight. Hippogriff will have to flash out. A-Barn with another kill on a rampage. Double kill for A-Barn. Blood could shortly follow, but he still doesn't have his 5 stacks. But a triple kill for A-Barn is now Verd just trying to throw out some spells, but oh my god, this is such an explosive early game.
Hit the brakes, guys. Let us breathe. 12 deaths. This is a kill a minute, man. With no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, I think we can barely get any analysis out here because they're just perma-fighting. I mean, I'll be completely honest. You tell me, hey, these two teams are going up against each other. At 12 minutes, the kills are 10-2. Which team do you think has 10 kills? Which team do you think has 2? I would say Blood team probably. The kills are probably all in Blood. But you're like, nope, A-Barn 6-0. I'd be like, wow. Was A-Barn playing Zed? I'd be like, wow, okay. So, I mean, all credit to them. This is a very, very great early game. They're setting up vision around this dragon, looking to try to take this mountain. Or not the mountain, I apologize. The cloud, as we do see Bromanzilla going down here to Reform Bully. Walks up into the bush with no vision, and just, you know, easy more gun and buying will do that to you, so might have to give this dragon away to TJ, but I mean, yeah, you know, outside of a few little funny mistakes, this has been a, you know, a very, very solid early game for Team Coinflip. They've got to be very, very proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is their game plan, man. They won the coin flip, it seems, this early game, as their name would imply. Z60, he's huge. He's already done boots too. He's godlike now, snagging a kill on Lux off screen, probably instantly. And they have 2 dragons to their name, so I don't imagine this slows down. They're probably going to start looking for even more picks and ramping up these kill counts.
Yeah, that was a nice roam down there by Blood, trying to catch out A-Barn here. It's a nice bounce. Okay, after use TV, Balian's roaming up as there's very, very low HP there on TJ. Nice healing there, but Sport will eventually take him down, but he will be traded back in response. Reform Bully actually steals away from the Jin, so little nice kill back. A-Barn's still half HP, so maybe they could consider a dive, trying to get that bounce off of him, but he will walk out of range of that binding. Hippogriff is here, just kind of winging the wings, but, you know, 1 for 1, definitely fine. Unfortunate that TJ now has his 4th death, can't really get anything else in return. He has finished a score drinker, so, you know, he's up in farm, but unfortunately he's not up in pressure on the map. A-Barn's team has been playing much better around this Elise, so right now for Blood's team, I think they gotta slow down the pace a little bit, you know. What A-Barn's team wants to do is just speed this up, right? They've got the Elise, they've got the Fed Zed, so slow it down. There's a great advantage here for Blood in the top lane. He's up 40 CS. Let him farm it out, let him try to get that solo kill. Even send TJ up there, you know, even try to get Verd to roam. Try to get your advantages where they are and, you know, try to slow down the pace here.
Yeah, absolutely. Their game plan has been... I feel like their game plan of their previous games is the complete opposite of this game. You know, they've been kind of making a name for themselves as the team that just rolls over everyone else in these like 18-minute games or some obscene number like that. And this game, they're going to have to kind of change up the pace here and do something completely different. Slow this game down, like you said. Get the Jin big, get the Verd on Lux scaling a little bit. Let them finish at least an item. Come on, and see if they can maybe eke something out as you know, the Zed starts to fall off and the Elise slows down and things of that nature.
Yeah, 100%. And it will be very interesting to see how this team will decide to be more reactive than proactive. Because you saw the one proactive play they made in the top lane, and we all know what happened. TJ gets felled to Hippogriff. So with the good scaling, or not the good scaling, just the good team play of Team Growth, I was used to the ultimate coming out. Obviously, Morgana Shield will nullify that, so not much going on here. Just you know, a little bit of poke damage, really just trade back and forth as Versus the Ward will just back off, get a reset in, as Team Coinflip will just look to get some more damage onto this bot tower, as TJ will look to just secure this Rift Herald.
Absolutely. I think they're going to close in on TJ here.
Yep, he might be able to get out safe though. He'll have to burn his ultimate though. Korean is holding on to the Cocoon. Actually, will miss that Cocoon if you see TJ ult in, but still very low HP. One hit away. Korean won't get the... Ooh, he will fall there to Blood. This could be a very, very unfortunate fight. Abarn is roaming up though. Hippogriff, one more auto, cannot get it. Abarn now could be going into his death. He will just try to get the solo kill there onto TJ. Oh, he takes almost all of his HP, tries to get out, but Blood gets the slow there. Ultimate coming in from Lux, and then there's a shutdown going to Blood, and this is exactly what they need now. But Spurg and Gormanzilla are here trying to take down Verd, but you see Blood there, so they'll just have to back off and you know, lick their wounds. So this is perfect. Gold is now even for both of these teams, and this Dares is looking very scary.
Yeah, very scary indeed. I gotta say, for how successful their early game was, they may have floundered a little bit here and returned maybe a touch too much gold to Versus the Words team. Hopefully it's not too much, right? Because they are definitely looking to make these plays and kind of close out the game while they're still strong. But I'm gonna say that's probably not the way that they want to do it, because if I was Verd's team, or Blood's team, I guess, that's a trade I would take every day of the week.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure why the Leafs held on to the Cocoon for so long. You obviously want to make sure you use that before TJ goes into the ultimate, because you can't, you know, stop him after that. But, you know, they weren't able to blow him up. They just need one more auto. He flashed away. Better to, you know, just give that up, since, you know, Blood was right there in the top lane. Easier roam down, and they sent 3 members just to kill 1. And they all 3 gave up their life just to kill TJ, who was 0-5 at that time. So, or sorry, I apologize, 0-4. So really not even worth the kill if you lose too much. As we now see, Flash in Blood. He will actually get the flash away. Spurg might actually just bleed down, but Rovenzilla with the heal will keep him alive. So, nice attempt there from Warpath and Beyond, but unfortunately cannot take down the Kaisa. But they will get that mid tower, and as
they get the tower for their troubles for sure. Looks like they are eyeing this bot lane here, as Zed is looking to split because he's quite large. I think he was up something like 2k. Yeah, almost 2,400 on Verd here on his Lux, so he is looking to draw some attention his way, but unfortunately they are going to miss out on this draft.
Yeah, all 5 members here, and the Kaiser Ni in the reset will definitely make sure that this is their dragon to take. There are 4 members here from Team Coinflip, so they might just, you know, could potentially consider something, but I think definitely better just give it up and say, hey, you know, whatever, we got the tower bot, good enough for us, let's just, you know, play around our Fed members and try to look for picks, because I think that's what this team needs to do, right? I think if we, and we saw what happened when they don't get that pick, right? They didn't get on top of TJ, they kill him fast enough, and we saw how quickly Bath and Beyond could just respond. So they need to make sure if they get a pick or they miss their CC, they have to back off, because there could be a great response from Versus the Word.
Exactly. So they want to play aggressively, but they don't want to force anything that's too over the line, out of turn, I guess. Well, Jin is opening up here, looking to save the tower maybe, but too little too late, as you might say.
Yep, just a zoning ultimate, we might say. But
yeah. Zoning ult?
Yep, I think there's too much damage, though, out from the side of Team Coinflip, so they will take down that mid tower. So mid is wide open for both of these teams. Definitely, Abron is happy to have his tower down, gives him more opportunity to roam around the map and affect it, as he might actually just look to ult in this Lux, but there's 3 members mid. He could just be ulting to his death, but you see the stopwatch there with the barrier, so Lux will be just okay. Abron will burn the ignite and the ult, so...
Exactly, and he is level 12, so that's on a pretty low CD at this point.
Ooh, that's a nice CC there. Ultimate coming over. We'll take him down. That's a good kill onto Verd. So, yeah, I mean...
the first kind of like inkling of that layering of CC there. I believe he got caught out by one of those two's binding, and then the Jin W follow-up into death. Not much counterplay to that. As soon as you get tagged by one thing, they kind of just have you.
Yeah, that might be honestly why we see an ultimate here onto Blood before we come back to that. So, Blood at 2v1 unfortunately cannot get the ultimate on to Peridian before he gets taken down. So, it's a great 2v1 there onto Blood. He had so close, had the 5 stacks. Ultimate was just about to come through, but unfortunately, too much damage there on Caridian and Hippogriff. But back to what I was saying, I think that's why we saw the Lux pick. I think obviously having that binding with the follow-up from Dev, and then the other binding, there's just so much CC. And that's, I think, what they, that's what's so scary about engaging on a team with so much CC, is that you miss yours, well, they can easily hit theirs, right? So they have to make sure that they play around these abilities. Hence, both of the teams, I think they have win conditions. A-Barn's team, play around A-Barn, look for picks. And we see Virtus the Word, let them engage onto you, miss everything, and then re-engage. Because you've got the strong top side, you've got, the strong CC, and then TJ, even though he is 1-5, he is strong, he has Gold Drinker, he's building into the Sterix, he should be able to, just run in there, heal a bunch, and, he might get blown up, but hopefully his team can follow up afterwards, since, Dev is doing pretty well in the bot lane, only down about 25 CS, does have his first item, but, this Jhin isn't doing too bad.
No, absolutely. I would say Team Virtus the Word is down, but absolutely not out. They have many windows and avenues back into this game. Snagging that dragon to keep them off Soul Point was huge. They've gotten a couple of picks, as we've seen, and none of them are terribly behind in farm. In fact, yeah, as you saw, Darius is quite a bit ahead, actually. So there are plenty of opportunities for them to come and kind of steal this win, or even to just kind of slow things down and then win eventually, as we've talked about before.
Yeah, and the gold lead is only 600 gold. And I think that's all an testament to Blood in the top lane, right? He's up by, 50 CS, he's got the tower. All of this gold, at least, evening up the gold lead, is all into him. Because he's very, very strong, has 2 items, is, I think, building him into the Sterix, as, Abram will pop his item, get out there safely. But, I mean, yeah, this soul is going to be so nice for both of these teams, right? Having an Infernal Soul on the team like an Elise, you can just get immediately blown up, is also good. Having an Infernal Soul on, members like a Jhin, especially with the follow-up CC, is also going to be amazing. So, this is going to be a very, very nice soul for both these teams. And, obviously, getting that one Infernal Dragon buys them 5 minutes at least. So we'll have to see how these teams decide to play around the objective, since it is spawning in 30 seconds. Absolutely.
I think, got a bit of a catch onto Caridian. It's going to be harder to take that objective with no smite.
Yeah, and that is looks like a bit of a deja vu. Bird lands the Q, follows it up with the ult, and that is a dead member. So, yeah, this is a very unfortunate time for Caridian to be walking up in the top side when you have, your dragon spawning in 10 seconds. I'm not sure why they didn't, put someone up like, Hippogriff, who can, W to safety. Not safety, but at least,
they're doing it. They're looking for the Baron. This is absolute giga brain gameplay, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart play, right? They're going for dragon, so you want to trade with an objective on the map. The problem is Blood is here.
Is it a smart play?
It would be if they had a little bit more items, because, they do have the Kaisa with the Kraken Slayer. They could burst this down, but they kind of just, took off like what, a couple thousand HP and then just walk away. And Blood is still here. TJ and Reformed are now in the mid lane. They might just get picked off here. We do see the ultimate there from Manzilla, as now we do see TJ going in very, very low HP. Caridian will get the shutdown onto Lux as a great pick, but Blood will get the response there onto Hippogriff. Ultimate there into Spurred. Reformed Bully still very low HP. We do see the double zone there, Caridian and Reformed Bully. Caridian might be falling here very, very shortly. He won't be falling, as Douglas will get that kill, but Spurgy is still here looking to take down on Blood. Avarn, though, will get hooked in, and then there's a death there. Shutdown going over to Blood, but he will be killed in response, as now 2 members will be running down Devious. But honestly, not too bad there from Team Coinflip. I thought there was a pretty unfortunate fight, but the respawn timer there from the Elise comes back just enough for them to walk back up. And I think that's a what, 4 for 3? So yeah, they're definitely very happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. They are still 1k up, or I guess they've actually gained 1k in that process, because gold, like you said, was dead even before that. Unfortunately, that is another Infernal over to Virtus the Word here, which I think they're happy to take. I think any moment in this game where they're not just like having their Nexus explode is a moment they're happy. So I think they're very, very excited to delay this game a little bit longer and work towards Soul for themselves.
Yeah, I think Team Abarn definitely has come out here with the better, since, obviously it sucks to give up a dragon, but, they don't have to go for it. They're up by 1 dragon, so 2 dragons to 2 is not too bad, but, trading 4 kills for that, getting their Kaisa more fed, seems like a pretty worthwhile trade since this Kai'Sa now has the potential to carry them through the game, right? She has 2
Absolutely.
items, has the BF sword, does have the bounty, as Avon might be looking for a ultimate there onto Dev. Actually, flash ults on there. Looks to just blow up Dev, but you do see the Morgana shield coming over. Jin W, actually, that's some nice footwork. Avon will trying to look to escape, but TJ with the flash will take him down. So I think Abarn's just not respecting the spacing and the survivability that these champions can offer. Since that's 2 times he's gone in and 0 kills for himself. Since it's not the early game anymore, and now this might be a Baron.
Zed does have TP to respond, and they do have a ward for him to hop onto. But without Zed there, they're gonna be pretty hard pressed. That said, they're taking it quite slowly. Jin isn't even there, and Jin's kind of notoriously slow Baron taker, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, without any crack, you can't really do that much damage as you would do with the Kai'Sa, right? But like you said, without the... Ooh, that's an ultimate there. Verd almost taking down the Skirky. Now is alone in the back line, but this could be a great fight to split, though, as TJ will be taking on Korean. We do see Hippogriff coming in. So many low HP bars. Double kill there for Korean, as I believe Hippogriff gets a double kill as well. Kai'Sa now trying to look to carry this fight, but flash out there from Hippogriff. He will be taking down that Bloodbath and Beyond. The Spurg now just tries to run for the hills. Blood now cannot catch up to him, but that was... could have been worse. 14 coin flip, but they will be happy to, maybe take 2 and stop that Baron.
Exactly. It was 2 for 3 there, but the Baron did survive, kind of making perhaps the most of a maybe less than good situation. I really thought, man, I saw the Kai'Sa ult in, and my entire body tensed up for like 1 second. I thought she was about to just obliterate like 3 people at the same time in the way that Kai'Sa kind of does. But unfortunately, the Zhonya's there, and the Sterix gauges have come out, and man, that item is just kind of nutty because they have so much sustain with the Gore Drinker and the Sterix, and those fights are going to be really, really dragged out.
Yeah, and I don't. Kai'Sa's not at that stage yet where she can go in and one-shot someone. Yeah. And when she went in for that ult, I was like, oh no, not a flanking ADC. But honestly, they played that fight almost perfectly. Hippogriff gets like great ultimate, so many low HP bars, but they unfortunately just didn't have that damage with Abarn being down. So Abarn's got to make sure that he is very, very strong, but he needs to play smart, right? If Abarn stays alive, he can do so much damage with an ultimate on the backline. He needs to make sure that the Zhonyas are down though. Let his carriers do the job. Let Hippogriff ult Blood into the backline, then he can go in. I think that's what they need to do. So slow down their play now, since they had a great early game. Gotta make sure they transition as well. But 4 members in the bush. This is a dead Jin. That is a great kill there. Spud will take it over for himself, and that means this should be Infernal over to the side of Team Coinflip. I don't think they have the damage, unfortunately, without the Jin. They might just look to push in the mid lane, though. Ooh, using the ultimate there. We'll take a little bit of HP there. Yeah, Death Bush strat, always wonderful. But, Abarn's team will just look to push out this mid wave as 5 seconds to the spawn of the dragon. There should be a free Infernal. There should be soul point for Team Coinflip, but we do see Voters the word hovering around. They could look for,
They're angling for a steal.
Yeah, TJ will be going in. Cannot get this one, unfortunately. TJ, though, is now in the pit alone, as he will just be trying to get something down Hippogriff. Will be the one member to shield for. He does have Sterix. Ooh, there's a great hook there for Bloodbath and Beyond. But the shutdown coming over. And the ultimate now from Abarn. Ult there. Doubles. Cannot get the kill. But Spurg now going in. Blood trying to get something in response. There's a double kill for Blood now. Has a reset. That'll be a dead Kai'Sa now as Verd now goes into the Zhonyas. Korean trying to get back to the second flash away. Verd cannot get a quadra kill. Let's see if he can get the penta. He's going for it. He's going for it. Q does not land, gets the hook. That is a pentakill! Bloodbath and Beyond is online.
He's absolutely done it. That's the most Blood thing I've ever seen. I love it. Suddenly 12-4. Like this game wasn't looking like it was the best game for Blood. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, we just at 5 kills. I guess he was actually being fine. He was up a bunch of CS, but I feel like with that early tower dive and some other things didn't really go their way. But he is absolutely thick as a brick right now.
And
dude's here to party.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think this might be... This could be losable territory for the side of Team Coinflip. I thought this was their game. Like, they just need to play smart. Game's over. They got this. They're ahead. Getting that pentakill onto a Darius is the last thing you want to see. And, just short of being that steal potential, but, there was a missed spine on TJ, didn't get the kill. Abarn, though, tries to catch some backs, will not get the 2, but Blood and this was just able to escape. But, like I was saying, they got the dragon. Soul point, perfect. just get the Olaf and back off. You don't need to fight here. Blood is still very fed. There seems to be a lot of disrespect here for the power and non-power of these champions, right? I don't think both these teams really understand how powerful and unpowerful they might be. But also, Blood got a really good hook onto Hippogriff, which allowed him to get to his hemorrhage passive. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure why they just kept trying to force after that. You know, we saw Spurg ult into the backline alone. Aeron then tried to follow up, but this is a fed Darius. He has 4 items now. He probably finished his 4th item on his reset. But you can't really blow up with Darius when you have, you know, such a split fight like that. And now I think this might be, I think this is Verd's game to lose now. Verd is the word might have this game in their advantage since now they have the 1k gold lead. They have Baron. And now they're looking to push down this mid lane, looking for an inhibitor potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. The gold lead is still quite wide. Oh, wow. Let's get him to catch. TJ going ham right now.
Yeah, the deja vu is real. There's another Q all death. And you know, TJ looking in, he will flash. You know, tries to pick off Korean and Bromenzilla, but won't get them, but he will get the tower and most likely the inhibitor for his troubles. So, you know, I really gotta hand it to the team going flip. They played this early game almost perfectly, but they released a team not going in, but use the ultimate detriment, warpath and beyond. They are focusing him, which is a smart thing to do, but they will flash away, not trying to risk in the ult resets again. So they will get the inhibitor. They will back off, say we don't want to, you know, try to force anything and throw the lead that we just got for free. So good on them. Almost a good team fight there. Unfortunately, did not have your Kaisa to get the follow-up damage. But
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. That's the inhib down. Now they're looking toward top. Yeah, like you said, they had pretty much the best early game they could hope for, including, obviously, the actual OP jungle start is to not buy items at level 1. But still, things went so well for them, and they kind of floundered a little bit in the mid game. It looks like they were not able to capitalize on this just gigantic lead that they had, unfortunately. So I don't want to call the game, obviously, because it's a little early to do so. But for next game, I would hope that they would go for a similar lead and then perhaps try to capitalize on that a little better and execute in a way that nets them more towers, maybe splitting the Zed, or just not kind of getting caught out so much and making those kind of wily plays to get Team Vertus the word back in the game.
yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, like at the end of the day, I think it comes down to not respecting the power of your enemy champions, right? I think Abarn team knew that they were ahead, right? They had all these leads. Abarn was very, very fed, but Bloodbath and Beyond was not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination, right? You said a little bit earlier he didn't have the best game, but that really wasn't his fault, right? He was farming well. He had a 40 CS lead. I think he might have been got to 50 at one point. But, you know, on the other side, you know, his team tried to get him fed. TJ, you know, messed up the dive, so he was actually doing really well. Unfortunately, his team didn't do well around him. But because he was doing so well, that's what allowed him to get that pentakill, allowed him to
Absolutely.
basically now put himself in the position to carry his team as 10 seconds to the Infernal Dragon. This is Soul, but this should not be a fight that you want to see Team Coinflip go for. They do not have the pressure, they do not have the vision. They should just back off, try to get some advantage somewhere else on the map, since if they lose this fight, this is game. The minions are pushed into their base, and they can just easily walk up there and end the game. So if they don't do this smart, this will be game over, but you see Hippogriff going in for the gauge. Blue team will get that dragon, as we do see Flash coming in with Form Bully, low HP, but you do see the 5-stack reset as Blight gets 1 kill, but there is a kill in response, as we do see these Zanyas coming out. Spurg now will have to flash away ultimate there from the Nami will actually save Spurg, but the ultimate coming over from Majin will take him down, and this actually might just be game. Nami is the only member left with Elise, and there's just not enough wave clear to stop this push, as Blood wants more blood. He's chasing down Bromenzilla and finds Korean for his trouble. They will just be trying to, I guess, stall as much as possible, but TJ will take down these towers on his own. Good flash out from Korean. Stops him from dying, but Blood still going in for more. Level 14 on Korean, so can't do too much. It's actually walking around these bushes very, very well, but that will be game over. Game 1 going to Burgess the Word.
Yeah, Blood had absolutely no interest in ending that game. He was there to collect more kills. And, you know, maybe I was a little out of turn earlier where I said he wasn't having the best game, because I feel like by Blood standards, a really like solid opening for him is to be like a 5-0 in lane, proxying their like inhib tower or whatever, because Blood just goes so nuts. But like you said, he was hugely ahead in farm. And they were able to really, really come back in this game from kind of a devastating start that was nigh insurmountable. So props to them for finding those catches and getting them back in the game and kind of cleanly winning a game that was not so cleanly started, I would say.
Yeah, you look at the damage charts, all blood, right? Pentakill allows you to get that to the point, you know? They lost the bot lane. Jhin, unfortunately, did not really get himself into a good position to have the carry potential, but you don't really need a carry Jhin if you've got a pentakill on a Darius, since
Yeah,
Darius will then do Darius things. And,
absolutely.
you
And
know,
Lux ended up popping off too.
yeah,
Not to cut you off, but I feel like she had a really rough start. Like she really was not having the best game. And lo and behold, here she is, third highest damage in the game, tied with the enemy Kai'Sa, who was going absolutely buck wild. So good on Verd for staying in the game, kind of preventing the tilt from setting in and grabbing those catches and turning things around, man.
yeah, Lux was in a very unfortunate matchup. Obviously, Zen into Lux, not ideal, but, you know, after a little bit of a unfortunate early game,
Mm,
transitioned so well, got so many picks for a team. It happened 3 times. Q ult land resulted into a death. So, I mean,
Q
she did
ult
her
kill.
job, right? Yeah, that's all you need to do. And,
Absolutely.
Abrams' team did so much work. They climbed so high, but it only takes one team fight, and the game just turns like that. And that's what we saw. They got the dragon. Unfortunately, they thought we can win here, and they didn't really respect blood on the Darius, and well, pentakills will happen. So unfortunately, they dropped that game. Unfortunately, cannot go up 1-0. They would love to have that, since if they went up 1-0, this series would be totally different in my mind. But you know,
You don't say. It would
yeah,
be
but
exactly the opposite of what it is
yep.
now.
But
Yeah,
Blood,
yeah, just
obviously,
so.
very good player. Does what he needs to do. Carry for his team. He'll be the reason why they come back and get something to win this game.
Absolutely. So that's gonna be it for game one. I think we are probably going to a short break here in a moment. So Verd takes it 1-0, and we'll see you guys here in a little bit for game two. All right. I believe we are back at it. And we're moving right along into game two after what can only be described as an explosive game one. Do you have any closing thoughts on that, or should we move straight into game two?
I mean, I think you said it the best. That was an explosive game, I do say so myself. From an early game to a mid game to Blood's pentakill to, it was explosive. And, unfortunately, I think after, a great early game, you made some
Mhm.
mistakes on Team Coin Flip, but Abarn seemed like they were doing almost everything they could to lose that game since it didn't really seem like they were playing in like the smartest kind of League of Legends, right? They really didn't need to do anything. They were ahead. They got the pick. Just get the dragon back off. I don't think they truly didn't understand how in the game Blood was because they didn't respect it. They just tried to fight not him, and then he was just allowed to get 5 stacks for free and then just win the game from there essentially. And then they tried to force a dragon for some reason when they were far behind when they had minions in their base, which would have just led to the end of the game, and that's what happened. So
Yeah,
definitely
no, I fully
unfortunate.
agree. Yeah, I think their early game was exactly what they wanted. It was literally the best thing that they could hope for. They were playing to their strengths. They were getting ahead in multiple lanes, and then they just kind of couldn't find their footing in the mid game and made a couple of, I would almost say solo queue plays. I don't want to be like too derogative, but um, it seems like they were maybe not the most thought out for the 5v5 setting, and it ended up costing them, and they were unfortunately for them, Verd's team was able to get back in the game through that and kind of claw their way back to victory in stunning fashion with the pentakill and the dives and the dragons and everything. Blood not even deigning to hit the Nexus. Oh no, not him. And to no one's surprise, we see the Darius banned this time.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to ban the Darius, mostly because A-Barn's team did everything right that game, but it was just like when it came down to it, there was just a little bit of execution error, but
Hmm.
it didn't really come down to like champion difference too much, in my opinion. So honestly, if I were A-Barn's team, I would say let's do the same exact thing we did, right? It worked. We just made some mistakes, but it still can work, right? I think that's
Yeah.
the silver lining for A-Barn's team. They did all the heavy lifting. They just need to make sure that they carry themselves over the finish line, right? Just don't slip and fall at the very, very end, at the very, very top. But hey, Darius is a very, very strong champion. Obviously, is top tier, and banning him
Top
is
tier.
fine. And
Mhm.
they do have first pick, so they will take the set again. Also, a takeaway from Blood, so it will be fun to see what he decides to play into one of his favorite picks.
Yeah, so I much prefer this set pick on the blue side for them. So like after the Darius is banned, they now first pick the set, and that kind of I don't want to say it puts Blood on the back foot by any means, but right away those are two picks that he really enjoys taking straight away. However, he is responding with the Wukong, a pick that he has shown a real favor for here in the preseason. I've seen him play it a few times, and literally every time he plays it, he's like, oh man, I should really keep playing this champ. And then he does.
There is a potential that it's a Wukong jungle, but it's most likely going to be Wukong top. I'm not sure how that matchup goes. I think it might just be whoever is smart about that matchup. But we do see the Senna and the Kaisa. This could be a Senna ADC or support. They did just buff Senna support. She is actually now much better. So I would prefer to see this as a support rather than a ADC. But obviously, Kaisa worked before, worked again. So might as well go with that. And we do see the Nidalee here for Caridian.
Oh, Caridian with the Nidalee. He's hard champs only, dude. Hashtag hard champs only for Caridian. He is all about the characters with like 30 different abilities and all the different interactions and everything, because I think that's just how he likes to enjoy the game. Um, so he has certainly gotten it in that pick, which I think is quite a complicated champion, and he'll be looking to pop off in wow, the reverse matchup from last time. So we get the Nidalee into the Elise. Double AP jungle. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think these junglers both have kind of like similar goals, right? I think they
Mm.
want to look for those ganks. They want to look to scale up and get their team ahead, and they also just want to blow people up. But I think these champions both have kind of like similar kind of goals. It will be interesting to see TJ though on the Elise this time. It'll be fun to see that. And obviously, Korean is a very strong Nidalee. I will be curious to see what he builds though, because if you do watch the pro scene, if you do know of our Lord and Savior LS, there is a secret build with the Moonstone and Staff of Flowing Waters, that I would love to see that on the Nidalee, since you can have so much damage and so much healing with those 2 items. So we'll see if he builds it. It's not common, not super
Wait,
well known.
wait. You're telling me the secret OP is Moonstone Nidalee?
Yep, that is
It's
the
toxic.
secret tech. Yep, it's Moonstone, Staff of Flowing Waters though. That's what's necessary.
The
But
hidden Moonstaff drip?
yep,
Okay,
the
that's cool.
Moonstaff drip. But we do see the final bans coming in here. We do see the Azir and Yasuo, as well as the Lux and Morgana taken away. So no more CC champs there in the mid and support. Obviously, they don't know where Senna's going still, so they have to ban away those supports. And obviously, just taking away some of Abarn's picks in the mid lane. Not sure if I agree with the Azir pick, but we'll let them have it regardless. So we will get to see though what they want to pick here. Do they want to pick support or do they want to pick
Wow.
mid? And that's an Alawi. Okay,
Lowy, also known as just Darius 2.
fair. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. Well, I guess this also could be a set mid, and you could see the Alawi top. I don't think I've ever seen either of these people play Alawi, so I'm very curious to see how that's going to turn out. Since Alawi is one of the most annoying champions in the game because she just clicks R and you can't win. But yeah, we will see the Nautilus there for the support. So it will be interesting to see how this
All right.
turns out, though.
Call it right now. What lane is that Alawi going in?
Oh God, I don't know. This obviously I think Alawi is going to. I have to guess mid, right? Because I think Wukong has to go top since Elise is going jungle. So, but I
This
don't
is
think
an
I've ever
Alawi
seen
support.
how is the. I don't know if I would love to see that. That's for
Oh,
sure.
it's happening.
It's happening, but oh my gosh, what is this team comp? If they pick the Camille, I'm actually. This has to be just a troll flash, but we do see the rise there for Abarn. So it's a pretty solid comp, I would say, for Team Abarn. Pretty happy with that. But wait, this could be a support Alawi. But because we
It's
do see
either
these
Alawi
digs,
or Wukong bot.
is it Wukong?
Who's to
What
say?
is this team comp? I am generally confused. We do see the Alawi on Blood right now and the Wukong support. They could, I guess, still swap. I think there's, what is it, 20 seconds is the cutoff?
I think I want to say it's 15, but I believe there is no such rule in the TCL. So I believe they are going for. I was talking to some people about this, and there's a build where you go ADC Senna, but you don't farm. I believe it's called Fasting Senna.
Fasting Center, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because you
yeah,
get
it's
more
essentially
stacks this
Senna
way.
support, right? Which is what you would want. And then Wukong will just take the farm because Senna she gets more souls now and she gets more CS
Right,
per
right,
soul.
right, right.
And so
Just so.
you have much more potential to get a lot more range much faster. So it's very smart for that regard to go fasting Senna or just go support Senna in general. Um, I don't know if I love the Wukong support. I think you can go a lot of I think you can go a lot of better supports for that. Um, but I mean, hey, if Wukong works, because the Nautilus seems a little spooky for me, because you just get the hook and you should just be able to kill him pretty relatively fine, right? Because Wukong won't be able to do too much.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
maybe I don't know the secret. There is the word tech, so I
The
guess
hidden
that's something
tech.
we'll find out in this game.
Yeah, I think the idea is that the Wukong can just block with his invisibility. Although low key, I think in general, a bot would be more annoying. But I don't know. We're in unbroken ground, dude. This is new territory for me.
This
So
is. I don't know if even if Alawi might be better, I don't know. Like Alawi, I feel like just doesn't. I don't know how she does in the 2v2. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how I feel about these comps. It's a very interesting idea. I feel like Abarn's team is a very just solid. I think it's just a solid comp all around. You got the frontline Nautilus, you got the frontline set,
yeah,
easy engage with a follow up of the Nautilus and the Rise, and obviously you got the Kai'Sa there. Great team fight comp. I love it. Now Blood's comp, I feel like if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But if it doesn't work, it's not gonna work.
yeah, I think it's probably, if you can believe it, going to come down to execution. If Wukong can get rolling, and Senna can just stack those souls, which I guess is kind of just inevitable, then maybe it pops off. I know Reform Bully is very into the roaming play style, so I'm curious to see how much time we spend with Senna by herself, bot, just kind of trying to play safe by herself, not really doing anything while Wukong is out looking for plays, out for blood, as it were. Um, but they may just play it as a straight up 2v2. I'm sure Wukong's damage is as disgusting in the bot lane as it is top early, especially for someone squishy like Kai'Sa. So maybe Elise will show her face down there, try to get that rolling early, and make up for the kind of terrible early game that they had last game.
Yeah, I don't know how good of a roaming support Wukong would be. I guess having the E to, get on top of champions and the ult knockup would be good. But I think
Mm.
Nautilus is just obviously just a better roaming support in general. But yeah, I mean, Wukong will do damage. He obviously is a strong champion top in good matchups. So if they play smart around the hook, they can, hopefully get on top of this Kaisa. If you get, a lucky 7W, can follow up very, very well. So it will be fun to see this happen. Definitely will be fun to see which team will I think you're right when you said it. It will be a game of execution.
Oh yeah, no, I believe we have a an exciting game in store, and I fear that the craziness of the comp from Virtus the Words team has distracted us from talking about Abarn's coin flip team's comp at all. For the most part, at least, we have Abarn on Rise, the Rise Championship Rise. If they were handing out world skins for a TCL last season, there would be a Rise skin. Um, they have the late game in the Kai'Sa and the Rise. They have the nice front line. They have nice engage and disengage. They have Caridian on, I think, one of his favorite picks right now in the Nidalee. Um, does the early game go the same as last time, or is it going to be flipped on its head? What do you think?
Well, I think there's one question we have to ask to know that.
Okay.
Will Caridian buy his jungle item before leaving base?
Oh, someone is going to clip that, and that's going to be saved in infamy forever. So I'm sure he's got it this time.
Yeah, I would be if he doesn't buy it, I think there's something going very, very wrong. But yeah, like you said, Abarn is so good on the rise. I've seen it in my games, right? Not only is he just good on the rise, his map knowledge and awareness of being able to split push on that champion is very, very strong. I have been backdoored and lost the game because of his rise, so I will make sure to ban that in my games. But he now, yeah, he has the potential to do a lot with this, right? Because I think they have. I love the comp of Team Coinflip much, much more than Virtus the World, right? I think if Virtus the World does not, ooh, that's a great hook there. Could be going down, but he will actually cannot get the flash out in time, as he will just get blown up there.
It's dead.
Yeah, I mean that's what this comp is good about, right? They have so many engage, right? You can have the set ultimate. You can take a reform bully or blend to the backline, and he'll do so much damage. You can have the engager from Bowman and Zilla. You can get the little root there from Abarn on his I can't remember what the name of the ability is, but
The Rune Prison, Aaron.
Rune Prison, that's the one. There is so much good follow up and so much like burst potential from the side of Team Coinflip, and I think obviously what we saw from the beginning of the game, that's all they need to do. Land the hooker to one of these weak champions and just blow them up, right? Because Ziggs
Just
really
touch
cannot.
one of them, and they're
Yep, Ziggs does not really have much like survivability. Neither does Senna, and neither does really Elise if she's not ahead. Because if you can CC here, she can't go up into her safety spider, and if she's not, if she's not ahead, then she's just, basically just a glorified canyon minion. So if we have any bit of semblance of the early game from last game, there should be. Now I say should be because it is Team Avon and they are Team Coinflip, and they can lose these games, but
Check out
it will be
Nidalee.
fun
She
to see. Yeah.
clears her red immediately, yeets over to Elise to try to mess with him. He did not, unfortunately, get the gromp away from Elise, but he was making his presence known early. He got that first blood, and he's here to flex on them, make plays.
Yeah, Caridian is very, very proficient on the Nidalee, and Nidalee is a very, very strong jungler right now. So this is a very, very good combo. Not only does she do damage, but she heals your team, and that's something that you love to have on the champion. So getting a good early game start, trying to build some advantages in the jungle. Obviously, we know how good of a jungler TJ is, so trying to take him down and trying to put yourself up is only going to help Team Coinflip in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And
oh my gosh, it could be a kill, but that is a great flash from Devious. I think he got down to less than 100 HP. That will be a flash from Reform Bully, and like I said, this is what the team is like. If it doesn't work, it is not going to work, since there is so much survivability on the side of Team Coinflip, right? You need one hook, and there is so much damage that can follow up, since there really isn't that much survivability with Elise, or I apologize, not Senna this time, but Blood now tried to steal that blue buff, but we do see Abarn here, and he might just die for free, not really respecting the roam of A-Barn. And that's the second time we've seen something like this. I'm not sure if these teams are communicating that, hey, my laner has left and he's going topside. But I'm not sure why Blood just didn't, back off there, because he saw, or he should have seen, since Verge had communicated that, but a little bit of a unfortunate play, so that'll be another kill going over to A-Barn in the early game. So this is it's another one of those early games, as TJ now could be next, since A-Barn's walking up there. Just try to get the Rune Prism, cannot get in, unfortunately, as he would get the fast feet. We would see a nice little cocoon there. Yep, phase rush, potentially. Coridian, though, is still there. A-Barn trying to throw down the damage. Yep. Verd does not have mana to really fight this. Can't really do much. Rune Prism does come in. TJ will get into his safety spider and will just be able to survive. Verd just trades back some HP for HP, but not too bad here from the early game start of Team Cornflip.
Yeah, absolutely. When Rise is on the A-Barn, it is certainly not a scaling pick. Oh wait, I may have said that backwards. When A-Barn's on the Rise, he plays that thing very aggressively. He knows exactly what the champion can do, and he's out for blood from level 1 or perhaps level 2 when he gets the Rune Prism. Yeah, definitely looks like there might have been some miscommunication, because Blood was certainly in there trying to front on Nidalee's blue buff, narrowly missing it. Oh, that looks like we have a gank coming out of Elise.
Yep, Bromenzilla tries to reach the wall, gets a little bit of an early one. That's a great flash cocoon there onto Spurg. Does throw down the Ignite and cannot flash away in time, as, ooh, Bromenzilla just missed the hook onto TJ, but he will still fall down in response. But 1 for 1, not too bad, but topside, was that I think Nidalee came in ganked, so that was a nice, I guess, response.
That's correct.
Back into them. So, that was a great gank on the side of Burgess the Word. Bromenzilla could have gone for the hook onto TJ and just sacrificed himself to keep Kai'Sa alive, but trading for the Elise is fine too, works. As I would use the TP there for A-Barn. Coridian is here. Coridian is around the map all over. Coridian's a beast this game. But yeah, I mean,
for the 1 in a million spear there, just hoping it would wanted and curve through those minions to hit Verd, but no such luck.
We'll just be happy to get some poke down, look for a potential regang shortly. But I mean, it was a great work there on the top side. Blood still has his flash. Would you see another hook there? Reform Bully will be taking down a lot of damage, as now they will have to back off. As everyone will take some nice poke there from Verd, but I think this is the early game that you want to see from Team A-Barn, right? They definitely want this early game. They had already shut Blood down. He's died twice? When did he die before? I don't remember. Oh, right, he got caught in the tunnel, right? Yep.
And he died in lane to the gank. Correct.
Yep, I forgot about that one. Yep. So shutting down Blood is basically one of your keys to win against Verge the Word. Since we saw what happened if you don't shut down Blood last game. So especially if he's playing a Lowy, right? That champion is so annoying. So shutting him down is very, very smart. But Blood will get a nice soul pull here. Hippogriff just try to mitigate as much as he can with the W. But right now,
much closer in farm this time than before. He's 42 to 42. Oh, well, looks like he actually just ticked up to 45. But before that was something like 15, 20 CS in game 1. Wow, Elise is just all over Coridian's jungle right now. I think he's trying to hunt him down. He has backed, and Nidalee is now backed. Got Boots 2.
Flashing into the ultimate, they're coming on to Blood. This could be the death of Blood, but obviously ultimate from the Alawi will keep her alive. Hippogriff will have to be careful. If one of those tentacles lands on him, he will die. But he did a perfect W, perfect time to keep himself just alive. So it was a very, very good attempt. Blood keeps his flash up though, so not too bad in that part. So a blown flash for a life kept is definitely favorable for Blood here.
Yeah, absolutely. I expect Elise to go for a dive here after she finishes off Coridian's Grump, but
A-Barn and Coridian though are here reducing the rise, ultimately coming in the back line. Reform Blade takes so much down from that 1Q. Still very low HP. We do see the heal coming in, trying to get them away. Reform Blade though should be falling very, very, very shortly, as he will fall. Coridian gets that kill, but Devious now will tries to get away. We'll get the Blast Cone to safety, as now they should be able to get that Dragon for free.
Yeah, that should be Dragon and no dive in the top lane. I know TJ is a fan of those on the Elise with that spider form E, just kind of saving her, whisking her away from tower damage as it were, but looks like they're opting against it. Wow, now it's Coinflip's turn to steal the jungle camps.
Yep, TJ though went to just be walking him to his death as he looks away the blue, but Bromenzilla is here, will land hook on to Devious. Will actually throw in the Ignite too, but now Reform A-Barn will fall to Devious, as now there's just a fight back and forth. Bromenzilla flashes over the wall, He will eventually fall to Verd, as Reform Bully now might be the next one to fall. Spurg and Coridian are trying. Ultimate in! Spurg is level 6, flashes to get Devious. Actually will get into the safety of his E. As now, ooh, that is a great W. Spurg gets a kill into Devious, and now they're trying to run away as Reform Bully and Verd are trying to get something back. Reform Bully, though, he could actually just get killed here. Wow, so much damage from that one Q, as he will fall, unfortunately. As Verd just tries to get some kind of damage onto Coridian. Just keeps throwing out his spears. And yeah, that is the power of the Nidalee when he is left unchecked. So this early game is all Coridian.
Yeah, no, he's having the time of his life right now. He is everywhere all at the same time. Not taking the dragon, but he has 5 kills to his name. He's doing well on CS, a little bit behind Elise, but at this point it doesn't really matter because when he bases, he's just gonna go and finish an item basically. He is going to be quite the force to be reckoned with here, and hopefully they can kind of learn from last game's mistakes and leverage that into even more of a lead. And it might be more achievable, I guess, with this harder scaling mid lane champ. So, like, as Rise gets going as well, hopefully the rising tide of mid lane raises all of the ships.
Some nice damage there from the Q of Aron, but we take a look at the gold here very, very quickly, and we can see how much of it is potential here. But actually, engaged down to the bot lane. Devious only level 5. He's got one more auto to his death. W coming in, but that's a great block there from the Reform Bully. Will actually just get himself to safety. So a nice job protecting his ADC. But Romanzilla, if he was level 6, would have been able to just throw the ult down. But Devious is going to be so happy to get away there with literally, I think it was like less than 10 HP.
Oh yeah. Single-digit HP for sure, and Nidalee's looking for it on Alawi.
Yep, well, that's beyond already half HP now with the damage of Coridian, as he will fall to the W of Hippogriff. So, wow, Coridian is actually just insane on this Nidalee. This early game is all Nidalee. TJ, though, trying to get something back in response, will throw down the control ward, as that's a great cocoon prediction. Coridian will flash away. We do see the Elise going in to try to get the kill. Hippogriff will try to be doing anything possible he can, does not have flash to save him. Now we do see Abarn ulting in as the shutdown comes through. That's a great kill there for TJ, but TJ might not be able to get out as he will flash to safety. Bird is here. Hippogriff will try to get there with movement speed, but does not lend the E, as now we see a TP in from Blood. This could be a you thought you had me, but maybe we actually have you in the end. Hippogriff tries to get something back. Almost takes down TJ, but Bird will finish the kill onto him. So that is a great recapitalization there for Team versus the Word.
Yeah, that is really, really what they're looking for right now. TJ with that shutdown is going to be right back into the game, as it were. So they are very happy with that exchange. 2 for 0. Shutdown goes on to TJ. They are still 2k behind, notably. Looks like something else is about to transpire in the bot lane.
And a little bit of an early hook there. They had 4 members bot side. Just had to wait a little bit longer, or maybe just walk out of the bush since they were past halfway. They could have been a very easy kill, but a little bit of a misplay or maybe miscommunication there. But, you know, no harm, no foul. They still get the dragon. They'll be happy with that at least, and they'll be on their way to Seoul once again.
little more delayed this time, as we are taking the first dragon here at like 11.5 minutes or so. But the full Night Harvester on Nidalee, as well as the Lucidity boots. What a hoss. Just disgusting. Really well played so far by Coridian.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does not go the Moonstone build, because that would only make Abarn's champion so much stronger. Hopefully, Coridian will learn for the future. Moonstaff is the future, I promise you. But yeah, full Night Harvester is going to... we saw how much damage one Nidalee Spear was doing, so a Night Harvester Spear is going to it's going to hurt, especially on these very, very squishy champions. But
I gotta say, here's the sitch, Aaron. The Moonstaff build, it might be OP, but there's not any player who is less likely to build that than Coridian.
As we do say, TJ was winning in the lane, trying to get the kill. Abarn will go for the flash, tries to take down Verd, but ultimate there from the center will keep him alive. Abarn, though, will unfortunately die for his sins. Verd will get the ultimate to take him down. So, almost a good, 2v2 response there from Coridian and Abarn, but unfortunately, Flash was a little bit too optimistic there from Abarn. He will unfortunately die again.
I think that's a good word for it. Verd with the fancy feet there escaped. Oh, but Coridian's looking to close on Blood. They don't want this smoke, dude. They're just out. Wow. The spear misses, and he just hops straight out.
Yep, I think Blood was just a little bit too far away to consider going for the dive, or at least trying to go for the kill, since he does have a lot of
Sure, with
sustain
the
with his
Alawi
ult.
ult, and yeah,
Yep. So they will
indeed.
just be happy with going away, but it seems like there's a potential that Brumenzilla wants to go in. Unfortunately, does just hit the clone, so not much going on there, as that is what Wukong is good for. Can clone to, suppress the hook, but Hippogriff doing some great damage here. Might just get a solo kill into Blood. Actually, just to get the straight up solo kill. Wow, 0-4 now this Alawi, as we do see a trade bot side. We do see Devious falling there to the, actually, another roam here from Abaron. I think he might have
No.
TP'd bot
Oh
side,
wow.
but the W almost finishes off the Form Bully, but they might just be able to finish off this tower, or most of the, unfortunately, plates will go away, as we do see the hook land there onto Vern. Unfortunately, that might be a little opportunistic again, as
Ooh.
Bromenzilla will die, unfortunately. A little bit too much of a optimistic hook. As TJ, though, goes over the glass cone, tries to get something more, but unfortunately, he will just almost die, actually. Just goes to his Spire form just in time, but Berg tries to auto a ward instead of autoing TJ, and almost dies for it, as the ult will miss. He will sidestep that, but a little bit of a interesting plays from both teams right here.
Yeah, interesting. That's the word I would like to go with. Yeah. That's fantastic. Props to Hitgrip for that solo kill. That was beautifully played. I think he timed the ultimate just right to dodge the heal on Alawi's like double tentacle move. Look at him just going for these heavy trades with Korean right
and
behind.
look who's back. Yep, Korean is back. Hippogriff, though, is very, very low HP. Already used his Facemaker, so unfortunately cannot mitigate any more damage, but Korean actually might be a little bit too many over his head. Gotta wait for the abilities to come back. Blood, though, has the potential to outplay this. Unfortunately, does not hit the E, so both of these teams might just say, hey, let's just back off. You know, we tried. It's fine. But almost another kill there onto Blood. He does have his Gore Drinker, so he does have more healing. But yeah, I mean, Hippogriff is doing very, very well right now. He is behind in CS just because of the nature of Alawi having the Rusher in lane, but Hippogriff is not done. Going in, back in, uses the W. Needs, I think, 3 more punches, but Blood will be able to just, walk it out under tower. And
Yeah,
this is no harm, no foul.
he's happy with that chunk. He's forcing Alawi out of lane, and I'm sure that is all part and parcel for the set plan there. So, look at how well Vert is doing though. I feel like he's been kind of the quiet carry this game. Like he is 3-1-1, but he's matching Abarn's farm. He has absorbed so much pressure from Ryze in Italy, bringing in Abarn, of course. And he's no worse for wear. He has a full item. Like I said, he's matching farm, and yet again, Italy is appearing in this lane to mess him up, and he even got first blooded.
Yeah, there's so much damage there coming over from Abarn. He does so much damage only with 1 item. Crazy. But yeah, it takes a huge chunk there. Actually, will just die to the spear. What a great throw of Meridian. And they will most likely get this tower since Spurg and Bromenzilla are here. Flash does not, unfortunately, land there. Cocoon will not kill Abarn, as TJ will unfortunately die for his sins. Bromenzilla will get that kill as Meridian almost dies to the tower. He'll heal just in time. So yeah, like you're saying, Vert is doing very, very well. Not only is he absorbing the pressure, but he's been roaming around as well. He's been getting some great ults. Was able to take down Abarn there in the 2v2 mid lane earlier. But unfortunately, though, as we hit that bit of a caster curse, as the Vanilla Spear will just immediately kill Caridian, as Rise ult will get them into the bot river to take down this dragon. So they're on their way to Soul again, and fortunately for them, I think this is a better Soul, since this is Ocean, and it's definitely the best Soul. But Hippogriff goes in for the ult, unfortunately might be in over his head. Actually, barely gets the kill into the Alawi as the final technical comes in. So Hippogriff has done so well against this matchup. Literally has supported his team so well, and we now see why the game plan is to take down Blood, since with no Blood, there is no team. That is what I predicted, and that, surprise, surprise, is how it happened. But unfortunately, Hippogriff steps up too far, no vision, and cannot get the tower in time. So literally, at least we'll get that shutdown.
I think TJ will take you up on that. I feel like he is kind of in the driving seat for a lot of these games on their team, but Blood's certainly starting off 0-5 is, I'm sure, not in their game.
Flasher onto Berg. Does land up Blue Crescent, but there's no hook there for Bromenzilla as the Form Bully now looks to go in. Abarn will be burning down, but the ult does not finish him off. Now Caridian is here, 3v3 potential for a win, but nope, we'll just back off Abarn and Bromenzilla low HP. Unfortunately, could not get the burst kill there onto Verd, since the hook did not land. TJ now is here, so better for them to just disengage and say, we gave it a shot. But Blood will get the tower topside. He is still farming well, So he's still in the game, but obviously 0-5 is not the scoreline you'd want to see, especially on the top side, especially since, like I said, I think a lot of the team revolves around that top jungle synergy. But TJ now in the jungle can't really be there, unfortunately, since all members of Team Coin Flip are there. Spurg will get that kill on the TJ, and this is what happens when you pick a very unique comp and it does not pan out well for you. You have just a team fight comp that will just team fight you and can just, when there's 2 towers taken, they can just stand your jungle and you lose control of it.
Absolutely. He made the mistake of thinking that was his jungle at this stage in the game, with neither of the outer towers for mid or bot. So unfortunately, that does not belong to him anymore. And I think he'll probably have learned his lesson and not return for quite some time.
Yep, we have 4 members here. I would love to see a hook engage and just an immediate blow up of blood.
Just
I would love to
blast
see
him.
it. Please do it. We know we all want to see it, but it does not look like they want it. As now Hippogriff looking for a 2v2. We do see the TP coming in from A-Barn to protect Hippogriff, but honestly, I think it was fine. Level 13 to level 8 and 9 of the bot lane, as now they're looking for an engage UCV, ultimate, and hook not land, since TJ goes up into the spider very, very safely. Third now is here topside to stave off the push of A-Barn and Hippogriff. So it was a good look, but it was a nice disengage there from TJ and his team.
Exactly. We've actually hit a pretty huge break point in this game, I think is worth mentioning. Kai'Sa is now officially 150 farm up on her lane opponent.
Right. She is truly up 50 CS, but we can see the gold difference right now. There's so much gold on the side of Team Coin Flip. They have about almost 3,000 gold advantage on this Kai'Sa comparatively to the Wukong. A-Barn is up about 2,000 gold, but Blood's still doing pretty strong. He's only just under 1,000 gold down, and honestly, TJ is not that far behind either with how much of a strong early game Korean had, because of he is farming just a little bit better. So just about 300 gold there.
Oh yeah, he's farming very well, and look at this cheeky Baron take. There's no vision, but I think their spidey senses might be tingling. Yep.
Yeah, a 20-minute Baron is a bit of a risky play, as TJ is here. He is with the Blast Cover. He will be looking to go in for the steal, but they should just turn right away. As there's a they did not steal the dragon. I thought they stole the dragon. They got a little bit excited there. Didn't steal it. Hippogriff will take down TJ. But yeah, it was a really actually great steal chance, right? TJ goes straight up into the repel, as we see Verd's ultimate come through. Try to go for the smite on top of that. It was a perfect setup, unfortunately. Caridian is prepared with his team, so they will be able to secure the Baron. I love the play. They were ahead. They just want to keep snowballing this game so they can win, since they have so much damage. We saw how fast that Baron was finished, and now this is Team Coin Flip's game to lose. So the Coin Flip last game, the Coin Flip in this game. Let's see if the coin stays on the head side though this game.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the improvement from last game, or I guess over last game, cannot be overstated. So they had the exact same early game, essentially, ahead on all fronts for the most part, and they were not able to convert it last time, but this time they've gotten all the towers, they've gotten all the dragons, they're getting 20-minute Barons. They have really figured out whatever the secret sauce was missing from last game. They have found it this game.
And now Hippogriff here going to the backside, as Blood is just so low already. Hippogriff might not even have to ult there. He could just keep punching Blood. He would die. You see the flashback from Romanzilla as Reform would just go into his death. 1v5. Not really sure why. Not really sure if his life is worth trading for a Nautilus support, but he tried nonetheless. But this will be a free dragon here. This will be Soul Point there for Team Coin Flip. As this game just gets better and better for them. They're about up 8k, 18 kills to the 8. Oh, there's the word. And yeah, it was like a night and day from their team from the preseason.
Yeah, they really flipped the switch on that mid game. Ooh, TJ going for the flash and just sniping the Kai'Sa. Really well done by him, but he will pay for it with his life.
Yep, Korean will go in and flash his own kill there onto TJ. So that was a great pickoff there on Spurg. Got the shutdown, but there will be a great kill there. There's a great Rune Prism there from A-Barn. We'll be able to take down Verd. Devious takes a hook to the face, not a hook, a spear to the face. Loses all of his HP, and he will have to run away as they are now sieging this mid tower. Obviously, that Baron cannon is very, very oppressive. They don't really have any ability to take it down, as now 4 members will be able to take down this mid tower, and they will most likely get this inhibitor as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They are going to snag this inhib, and I think Blood, this far behind, is going to be pretty hard pressed to have a meaningful teamfight presence. And he certainly can't be going for the crazy 1v1s that I think he is sort of known for. So I am looking to see how he tries to turn this around, I suppose. Like, what do you think is on the menu here for Team Versus the Word to get back into this game?
Um,
Down
honestly,
9K.
you need to have them conflict the game. That's really the only thing they can do at this point. Like, Spark has a 3-level lead on both Devious and Reformed early. Obviously, them making mistakes like that's what you need, right? You need to have them make mistakes because that's the only way you're getting back to this game. Since if they're teamfight comp, right? So if they literally just group for the rest of this game, they couldn't lose. It would be impossible. They're just too far ahead. So you need to have them just make mistakes like that. Have Abarn
Make
walk
bad
up for no
plays.
reason and die. Have just people have them try to force too hard, and then you can respond. I think that's really the only thing they can do here. They're about to lose Soul in about I think it's 4 minutes now.
Yeah, just a few minutes away from that, yeah.
And yeah, there's just too much damage, right? Abarn does so much damage with the AoE. Kuridian also does so much damage. Spurg has 2 items filling into the third. There's just really nothing they can do in response. And we did have a soul check here for production. We do have I think it's probably about 50 to 58 souls or 60 souls here in the Senna. As now there's another catch onto Kuridian. This is exactly what you want, as Kuridian will flash out as we do see the Wukong ultimate coming in. That will be a shutdown there. TJ with another one. As we do see Abarn though picking off Bird in the backline, as Spurg will now have to ult away. Will be burning down, but we'll be okay, as we do see a little bit of a scuffle in the mid lane. TJ does want more, but Hippogriff is here. As he will walk into his dash. Ultimate there from Hippogriff does so much damage. It's a great E there. He will be taking out Devious as now the ultimate comes in with the Blood and Bath and Beyond. Let's get a great double kill there, but Abarn and Hippogriff should be able to close out this fight. Abarn will take down Blood, as now Hippogriff will let Reformed Blade walk away. So that was
Yeah,
a
flee
little
with
bit
his
of
tail between his legs there. I feel like that didn't start off on the best foot for Team Coinflip, but they they really turned things around there. I gotta say, TJ and Elise just face-checking 3 members of Team Coinflip was maybe not the move.
Yep, Hippogriff just tanking his tower since they will take it down relatively fast. But yeah, I think we saw what Versus the Word needs to do. They need to capitalize on the mistakes of Team Coinflip because they are not the perfect in their execution, right? They will sometimes step too far up. They will get a little cocky. They will think that there's no chance they lose. And we saw what happened in game 1. They thought they thought they had the win probably in the bag, and they threw it away. And now they got 2 kills, but unfortunately they are just so much more ahead than they were last game, to where they can throw away a team fight or 2 and they'll still be fine. They are still up almost 10k. They have Soul in the minute, so this is still their game to lose. Abarn is still incredibly strong. Hippogriff has not been in these team fights right away, but he is so incredibly strong. But yeah, they need to get another lucky pick, right? Pick off Abarn, pick off Kuridian before the Soul spawns, and then you can save yourself 5 more minutes, keep farming, hopefully you'll be okay. But unfortunately, they might just go for a Baron on spawn, since there's really not much Versus the Word to do, since all they have to do is just look for a turn and they die. But
Exactly. At this point, I think they're happy to take any fight that Versus the Word will offer them. And you're right, Soul is coming up just here in 20 seconds. I am certain that they don't want to give away the Ocean Soul.
Yeah, Hook does miss though, but yeah, I think anything that Team Coinflip does will just be a win. Since if they land any CC, they should be able to just immediately blow up any member of Versus the Word, as they're now all moving down here to the bot side. Soul is the goal, as you do see a spear land there onto TJ. Actually does take a big chunk, but there's nothing they can do at this point. Soul is gone. That will be Ocean Soul taking over, and now all they have to make sure they do is not die here and lose the game. It's a nice little stun there, landing TJ, dodge the CC. So now, next on the table is Baron. There's really nothing stopping Team Coinflip from just taking it outright. We do see the ultimate coming in. They won't be ulting straight onto the Baron for whatever reason. It saves them a few seconds. But yeah, you can see how fast that just deletes. It's been like, what, 10 seconds? It's already gone. TJ is here, but I'm not sure he's, yeah.
But, yeah, just not quite enough. The Zigzag being cast after the Baron died, it appears. But, yeah, with this huge lead, I think they're looking to just kind of suffocate the map and just wipe everything off of it as cleanly as possible, because with Baron, with Soul, they are in absolutely no rush to end this game. I think they can absolutely just work on whatever terms they would like. to close this out cleanly. No reason for them to take any undue risks.
Yep, and there's no reason to split. They are a team fight comp that just wants a team fight. But Romanville might be cut out here. He actually will be able to flash away. Has a lot of sustain there as Korean now looking for an engagement. Grip will flash in, gets the ultimate there. Will do so much damage to 4 members of the team. Now it should be a big thing here. Using the Sentinel coming over the top as Avon will be allowed to 3-hit Korean with taking down Viewform Bullet. Subgrip takes down TJ. Will get blood in the end as well as now Vernon Douglas will be doing whatever they can to stop the end of the game as Avon will be on the top side taking down this tower. As the rest of the 4 members will be taking down this mid inhibitor, and this should be the end of the game unless there can be some crazy catch here from the side of Bird's Sword, but it might not be possible. Spears are flying through. Avon goes to the flash, just immediately blows up the Sentinel. Bird should be next. 1 Q there from Avon, and that will be game 2 going over to Team Coin Flip.
Absolutely, in a wonderful kind of reversal of last game. They took the lead, and boy, did they keep it. They really flipped a switch in their strat from last game to this game. Really well executed by Team Coinflip there. They took everything. I don't think there was a single objective of importance that went over to Team Virtus the Word. So very clean play like them, or sorry, very clean play from them. And I think Virtus the Word is going to be kind of licking their wounds here, thinking what went so wrong in this draft, in this early game strat that would lead to such a crushing defeat. How can they switch that for next game?
Yeah, and honestly, I think that was the problem, right? I think they outdrafted themselves. I think they maybe could have been confident that they thought they could win. Maybe they thought, they entered the last game, so we can have some fun. But that count just didn't work. Like the side of Team Coin Flip, they just won the 2v2 straight up. There was nothing that Sunny could do. There was one hook landed, and she lost all of her HP. And on the side of Team Coin Flip, they just had an amazing team fight comp. And with the early game that Caridian had, he was everywhere on the map. He affected every single lane. He won the top side. He won mid. He helped to win bot side. Like, he was the reason why this team was able to just hard push their lead. And it's no surprise that we see like that kind of game out of them, right? They were not, just about 1,000 gold ahead for most of the game. It was that 10K lead. That is a almost insurmountable lead in League of Legends. So that's really all the credit to Caridian. This was his carry game.
Yeah, absolutely. He was like 717 by the time he first backed. Obviously not actually, but he really accumulated all that gold in a very short amount of time. Good for him, and let's see if they can keep the momentum going into game 3. I believe we have a short break on the way. We don't have the damage stats, but we can talk about all that after. So let's get into the break and back for game 3. All right, Aaron, I think we are back for Game 3 of Team Coinflip versus Team Verd is the word. One win from each team, obviously, hence Game 3. What is going on in these games? What's your take?
Well, there's honestly, it's coming down to some coin flips. It's coming down to some great
Okay.
just solo plays, right? We
Mhm.
saw how Blow was able to solo carry game number one. Game number two was really off the back of Curdy and all his play. We do have the damage charts here right above us, and you can see it was actually a little bit surprising to see how it turned out, right? Hippogriff actually tops his team's damage charts, and that's mostly just because of how much there was brawling on the top side. But we saw how much damage Abarn and Kurdian did on their team. But unfortunately, on the side of Verge the Word, that Senna did less damage than the opponent's support in Nautilus. So I'm not sure that the fasting Senna strat really worked out that well.
Yeah, it's I think what might be worse for them is that the Wukong is not far behind either. He barely did more damage than the Nautilus, and was almost invisible that game, except as a kind of totem that was 300 gold for Abarn's team to collect periodically. But we are headed straight into the draft. Do you think they're going to go for another fasting pick? Do you think that's dead forever, or maybe it's something that they're going to work on a bit and come back to?
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it out in a different way because I think not even fasting Senna, just put Senna on support, right? She's a fine support, and that's where I
Sure.
think I think that's where Riot wants her to be with the buffs that they had on two Senna support. So I think if they want to pull out the Senna again, just put it in support. But moving into the game, I think they need to reaffirm their game plan, right? Because Team Abarn, I think they know what they have to do now, right? They've done it 2 games in a row, but they just got a little bit too coin flippy game number one, right? So just calm it down, make sure you are aware of how good your team is, where you have aware of how strong the other team is, and you should be fine, right? But they gotta make sure that they ban rate that rise, right? Just don't give Abarn his comfort picks because you gotta respect the comfort picks in these kind of leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought for a moment that maybe the Nidalee would be left up and then TJ would first pick it, as I know that he's a pretty large proponent of that champion as well. But to the contrary, they are banning it and just choosing to kind of respect the Caridian power on that pick and take it away instead of taking it for themselves. So straight into it, we're seeing very similar bans though from Abraham's team with the Zillion, which I think they just do not want to deal with as it's quite an obnoxious pick, and the Pantheon, which you could argue is overpowered. You could argue that. Fizz, huh?
I guess maybe they want. I'm thinking they want to pivot to the Anivia here, right? Because I know
Mm,
Abraham likes Anivia. Maybe Fizz is good into Anivia. I'm not exactly sure because Fizz can obviously just dive on top of you, and like I said,
there it
Anivia.
is.
So I'm assuming that's why they banned the Fizz. They want to take away some hard counters of the Anivia, or maybe just good matchup in general, right? Obviously, you gotta see the Darius ban. Don't want to see Blood have another carry performance. So they will throw in the Nivea. I wouldn't be surprised to see a set again. Hippogriff has played that pretty well, so don't really need to change anything that's
Yep.
happening. And there's a set again. So question is now, what does Team A-Barn pivot into? Right? They had the Kaisa banned away from them this time, so they can't have that.
Mm.
They will take away the Nautilus. Obviously, a very very strong support, engages everything that you want. So now the question is, what will TJ and his team pick? They could
Right.
go for another carry jungler, or they
I
could
would
just,
expect just Jin Morg here. This seems like the most reasonable pickup for me because they get the Morgana to kind of stifle the Nautilus pick. They get Jin, who's like pretty easily the best AD carry, at least after Kai'Sa. And now they have 2 more bans if they don't pick ADC. Right, see, exactly. So Abar wants to play Rise into a Nibit. He I don't want to say that he like carried last game, but he was absolutely a force to be reckoned with. So he's going to want to like get that in before the second ban phase. But we could see some issues with the champ pool in the AD carry department. Like, what happens if Blood's team just bans 2 good ADCs?
and that's honestly what they should do, right? I'm not sure how many junglers that Korean is as good on like in Italy, but they will take away the least just in case, right? So I think they should take away their strong AD carry like MF, and they're really really pinched on good champions. But Jin Morgana, obviously they did good game one, they were strong, so it's a good pick. I don't I don't think they should ban the Kaisa. I don't think Kaisa's ever been a problem. Just like straight in the 2v2. I think you should take away the Rise, right? Rise was such a huge proponent in that game. So I'm not sure,
Interesting.
if maybe they like the Rise into the Nivea, if they think the Nivea is just better, but they will just pinch that jungle pool. Taking away the Lilia and the Elise. So we will see, I think, a new jungler here out of Caridian.
Is this going to
Um,
be the Lee Sin, dude? This
do
has to
not
be maybe not
If
this
he
pick,
picks
but
Lee Sin, the game's over. They've lost draft immediately.
maybe
That's
last
that's
pick.
Lee Sin. So
Okay, it's the
if they pick,
Gragas.
they'll okay.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, Gragas is fine, but yes, you do not pick Lee Sin. Lee Sin is as much as an int pick as Fasting Senna and Wukong, but we
Even
will get
more
to
int than those
even
two.
more.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we will
Okay.
get to
Okay.
see the complete team comp here for Virtus the Word. They still need a jungler and still need a top side. So we will get to see what Blood likes to go to into the set. I mean, he could pick Alawi again. It did fine, but he just got hard focused.
Hmm.
So maybe he's like, I like Alawi as a champion. It's a good champion. But we'll see
Oh,
the last second lock-in of Rek'Sai. Interesting. Not sure how I
Plan.
feel about Rek'Sai. I haven't seen Rek'Sai in a long time. We will actually see the Camille. I would love to see Camille. Camille's a very, very strong top laner, one of the best. Her
I
lockdown ult could be paired well with the Anivia ult, because, you can just put in the whole entire ult. I'm not sure how
no
that matchup
way
is in
they
the
lost
set, though.
this. No.
Hover is
Okay. I was
there.
gonna say.
Okay.
Blood plays a lot of things. I feel like Blood kind of plays like 20 versions of the same champion, but Camille is not one of those things. I don't know. I think he's pretty vocal about his disdain for the Camille pick, and I was gonna say there's just no universe. Oh, but the Tristana picked up. So interestingly, instead of focusing on the 80 carry bands for Versus the Words team here, they focused on the jungler bands, and actually every AP jungler except for Gragas banned out. Okay, I'm just kidding. Karthus and there are others, but a lot of focus onto that, and now that means Berg gets the Tristana, which is actually, I believe, a counter pick of sorts, or at least strong into Jin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is one of the better picks in that lane for them.
Yeah, and I think especially in the 2v2, right? Because they have the
Right.
Nautilus and they have the Tristana. That team just wants to go in and fight permanently. Because Jin does not have much movement speed. You get on top of him, you can't really go anywhere. Unless Morgana, lends good binding beforehand. So if this Morgana does not land her shields well, and Nautilus can get a full hook into maybe a potential ult, or gets the auto passive, this will just be an easy bot lane since that Tristana is just going to perma dive on top of you. But if they can play smart, they can play around the Morgana binding, they can play around the Morgana shield, they should be able to sustain, they should be able to, be fine. But I'm really curious to see how this top half of the map is going to go, right? The Anivia has been banned, I think, for 2 games in a row.
Hmm.
And I'm I'm sure that they had to make the decision of, do we ban the Darius or do we ban the Anivia? And then it comes into, well, they didn't ban the Rise, so then we have to pick the Rise in response, right? So I will be interested to see how that matchup goes, because I know Abarn loves the Rise and he loves the Anivia. So I don't know who this favors. I think it might just favor who it's just a skill matchup. So that'll be fun to see. And obviously we haven't seen a Gragas in a long time outside of in the top lane in Pro. So I mean, Gragas is
True.
obviously strong with his ult. He can, I would love to see that Gragas throwing that ultimate to get the Nivea closer, get the Jhin closer, or just trying to pick off anyone. That's what you want to see your Gragas do. But Rek'Sai obviously is very, very good at going for those ganks, tunneling in on you, getting that ultimate just on top of you. As well as I think Mordekaiser just said is just a standard matchup. I'm not sure who that favors. I might say it favors Mordekaiser just because of the consistent damage, and obviously the ultimate can keep you alive for a pretty long time, and keep you get with those buff stats. So I think
Yeah.
these team comps are much, much better. There's no draft difference anymore. So
Draft gap.
this might just be another. This is a true execution game now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we see a lot of kind of mirrored picks here. We see both bot lanes have much potential to pop off. Mid lane, I feel like could go either way. Although I must say, I kind of post six give the edge to the Anivia with the longer range and the wall and the slow and everything. That seems like it's going to be a little persnickety for Rise to get in there. But maybe with Gragas or something like that, they can make some flash plays or some phase rush magic will happen. In the jungle, another very explosive matchup, I would expect. Rek'Sai, very strong in my opinion. Doesn't take very much to get her going, but also on the other hand, Gragas. If Gragas gets like an early Night Harvester or whatever off of a couple of early kills, like last game, that damage is not reasonable. On the top lane, I don't know anything about top or any of these champs, but I gotta slightly favor the Mord, I think, for the sustain, but I'm making that up. I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I have more guys and set have fallen a little bit in priority because of the changes in the items, as well as just some of the nerfs that have come in. But I think so many of these champions on both sides scale so incredibly well, right?
Yes.
Mordekaiser and Rek'Sai scale so very well. Abarn scales so very well. Tristana is the 1v9, one of the 1v9 AD carries, as well as you can see the Jhin scales so well, and Morgana has so much value late game. So these comps have such high potential to have a very, very explosive game if they get ahead, right? Because I think if one member can get ahead, like we saw in game one, and they can keep ahead, they can have the potential to win these team fights for their team if they can play them well enough. But if another team just absolutely just demolishes, they'll just continue to steamroll. So I think this game will come down to who wins the early game, and if it's not who wins the early game, it's going to be who is smart enough to like win the team fights and where like the real teamer comes in.
It's interesting you say that because I think my hot take is that pretty much anything is gonna happen. Anything can happen in this game. I think for like 40 minutes, and you could like just erase the scores, and either team could just win. Like just looking at these, like both these teams are so strong in the late game. Like I think if you get up to that 50, 60,000 gold mark for both teams, no matter what the lead is, I think it could be a very close game still. I don't know. I think it's going to come down to like one team fight at 50 minutes, which I pray is not the case because my food is already cold.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely agree. And we have a pause coming through. I'm not sure if there is a maybe connection issue or some kind of hardware or equipment. So we'll have a short little break here while we
little
get that
respite.
fixed.
Yeah.
Little respite, but I do agree that both these teams, even if they do get behind, the potential to come back later in the game. And this could be like a 50-minute brawl of both teams. Gold doesn't matter. It just comes down to who plays these fights better. Um, so I also do think though it could get to that point, but it could just get to another repeat of game two, right? You come out, you scale so well, and you just never let the other team come back to the game. We will
Yeah,
hop
that's
back
very
into the
true.
rift though right now.
Yeah, looks like there might have been a little bit of a technical issue on Caridian's part. We got the official error report was Caridian pasta. So he must be turning his scripts on so that he can carry hard again in game three.
Yep, gotta land those difficult Gragas barrels. So very hard to do. But we have another Death Bush play. This time is not for the mid lane. This time is in the top jungle. TJ is close, so he might look to go for a ward, and if he does, this would be a quick death. Since the CC there, he will might just look
Mhm.
for a reset. But we do see Bromenzilla walking up. If he lands the hook, he does say TJ that we could see a flash
He's gonna have to
engage.
flash this hook.
Ooh, he should have gone for a flash engage. Would
Oh,
have been worth to blow flash for flash, but
wow.
no harm, no foul, I suppose. It will just, walk back to the lanes as nothing happened bot side, nothing happened top side, no vision placed down. So it will just be a standard normal start here.
Yeah, TJ must have been just hovering that flash key, and he must have a pretty big chair, I guess, to hold those massive balls, not to flash away from that. And
Yeah, I don't think he has to flash away just enough until he hears the opposing flash. But
yeah, it's true. You're right. I would
yeah,
have
we will.
flashed with them bad.
Yep, got just in case you got a little scared, right? But yeah, TJ obviously it's smart enough to not blow the summer spell when it doesn't need to. But we will have the minion waves crashing. It will be the early start to see which team will have the similar early game. You know, will A-Barn's team continue to have the strong earlies that they have? Will Korean, continue to affect the map as he have? Will Spurg and his team win the 2v2? We do see a great hook there onto the Morgana. Binding does land onto Spurg, so not much follow-up damage to be had. Or,
Big chunk though.
yes, a good chunk gets, reformed down to just about half HP. Or, will Blood's team come out and we just win top side like you might expect them to? Will, Ver just hard carry this Nivea since that champion can be so oppressive? Or will maybe the 2v2 of Devious and the Form Bully, propel them to victory? It will all be questions that will soon be answered.
Yeah, find out in the next 20 to 75 minutes in TCL Week 2, Game 2, or Week 2, Day 2, Game 3. Indeed, both junglers, it looks like, pretty standard starts. Nothing out of the ordinary. They are both headed toward the top side. TJ is going to get to that crab first. Wow, they are really scrapping heavily in the bot lane. That must be how Set got so much damage last game, man. They were just non-stop brawling.
Yep, Set just non-stop getting those punches in, and obviously he did do enough damage late game to keep with it. But yeah, hook lands, obviously good shield there, make good response to land the botting, but Roman's still obviously very, very tanky on this Nautilus, as in you'll see Caridian and TJ going out in the jungle. You see the slide coming down there, and for HP, most likely for Caridian, as TJ will just stow that away and walk out, but might walk out into the 2v2 here. He does take so much damage, will have to flash away. As you see Caridian flash in, does land that barrel, but will not be able to take down TJ, as that will be flash for flash traded. Red buff still stolen away by TJ, so he will be happy about that, as Caridian will move down to take this actually, we'll not go for the scuttle. Might look for
We're getting a roam mid lane from the bottom.
Yeah, Romanzilla is here with Spurky. This is a 4-man dive, as we do see the hook land onto Verd. He will go into the passive, as he will most likely be taken down here, and that will be first blood over to the Tristana. That is a great play there.
4 mana, 4 minutes? Hello? This isn't bot lane.
Yeah, and if I'm Verd, I hate to see it, because there's nothing you can do against a flash rune prism there from A-Barn into the hook by Broman. But I mean, yeah, I am very surprised by Team Coinflip. They have shown so much team play around each other and so much like great play setup.
Very nice wave management by them as well. They shoved that in. I don't know if that was like a double wave or whatnot, but it looks like they have lost almost nothing for that. Maybe just like 1 minion under the tower. So they just shoved it and kind of hoofed it on toward mid lane. Got a kill at almost no cost.
And, after
Yeah,
after Spurg and the boys in the preseason, maybe they have the best start they want, going 1 and 2 there. They obviously did some really great practice, as Blood might be looking for the Soul Killer. Actually predicts the flash, as he might actually just trade 1 for 1. He will trade 1 for 1. Not favorable here. Almost got the prediction flash, unfortunately, just barely misses the Q. As Silvergraph maybe got a little bit of a lucky flash there, but yeah, I think A-Barn's team must have gotten some great practice in. They've obviously got this huge team play going on that has allowed them to, make so many great plays across the map.
Absolutely. This is looking like a completely different team from the preseason games, and just from kind of like periodically checking on their scrims and whatnot. I feel like they were having a real rough time of it, but something must have clicked. Hippogriff playing out of his mind. A-Barn consistent as always. I guess Caridian has always been kind of liable to just pop off out of nowhere, but especially this bot lane. And I want to highlight Bromanzilla's performance so far. He's been kind of a hook bot. He's been having a real hell of a series on this Nautilus. I guess it wasn't in game 1, but he's putting in work.
Yeah, and even in game 1, even though he wasn't on Nautilus, he still did a very great job. And like you said, Hippogriff is doing very, very well. Right now, he is even in CS with Blood. He got the trade 1 for 1, so worth on that side. All of a sudden, the spells are blown, so if I'm Hippogriff, I'm very, very happy. I didn't get the soul kill on me. I have even CS, so couldn't be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nivea completely after that rotation of spells under tower, which I don't think is where she wants to be. Oh, getting a little bit of lag on the stream there.
Could this be another pause? Potentially, it could just be a spectator bug, as we do see the. It might just be a big spectator bug, or maybe I'm just lagging myself, but might just be some kind of. We're back. There we go. Just took a little bit of a second to catch back up. Maybe the pause early game could have messed with something,
Yeah,
since we all know Riot is a small indie company, so you gotta give them a break for all of these issues that happen. But we are
absolutely.
back.
No harm, no foul. Only a few seconds of our time lost. So,
Only a few. But
and Hippogriff has a nice spot here on the wave. This is pretty great. I can't help but feel if Blood had just pushed him out of lane and gotten the free TP and reset.
yeah,
I don't
that is
know.
a great E prediction though there from Blood. We'll pull Hippogriff in. Hippogriff is very, very low HP, not be able to live this one,
Shadow Run.
unfortunately. Does not. Oh, that's a great Q dodge, but he still might die. Ooh, does not dodge the passive. Blood just needs to step up for one more second. Hippogriff actually decides to stay. Does not have his jungler. This might be a little bit of a too much of an overstay, since Blood has the stacked W, has full HP. No reason why he can't die, but I guess Hippogriff does have the face breaker. But other side of the map, Abarn's team will be securing this Infernal Dragon. So back to their Dragon ways, as it usually ult mid. Bird might be in for a little bit of a treat here, as there's another 4-man. Work with the kill again there. So, more of the same here for Abarn's team.
They are absolutely on one, dude. Their comms must be lighting up right now. Their excitement is palpable. Dude. They're playing so well right now, and I don't know, not to be negative, but to be honest, I don't think anyone would have predicted them to be in this position in the series at this point. So they must be elated, and they're carrying that that tempo from game 2 for sure, making huge plays. Bird's already 0-2. Nice bind though. The Brumans
Yep.
on the bot lane.
Jin stun does not land, unfortunately. Not flinching, look for that kill onto him.
Right.
Squirt gets level 6. Could potentially look for something here, but TJ will be looking to engage onto Abarn. Abarn does have flash, does have a lot of damage here, as TJ does not decide to go back in. We'll just be happy chucking half of Abarn's HP. But level 6s, I think, all around now on the bot side, so we could see an engage soon. As Hippogriff is still just doing his best to sustain the Murkazar damage, decides to maybe not build any MR, go straight for the Blade of the Rune King build.
Yeah, the immortal Hippogriff, as it were. He has just survived in this top lane at none HP for quite some time now, but I feel like he's maybe fallen prey to the juicy cannon wave as TJ's kind of prepping for a gank here.
Yep, and there's another great E there from Blood. As we see the ult back in, Blood actually almost goes down to Hippogriff, as TJ might die for his trouble, and unfortunately, another dive topside, another death for TJ. So Hippogriff is doing very, very well. Almost actually gets a 2v1 topside. But unfortunately, Blood did not get the tower aggro there. So he will be able to walk out no problem, as Peridian here now might be looking to take Blood down. Ult comes down though. Peridian is level 6, could just wait till the end of the ultimate to throw that down. Actually just straight out misses the ultimate, as Peridian now just has to walk away, saying oops.
Kind of does the shame walk away. He doesn't even grab that last minion at the tower. He's like, you know what? Nobody saw that. That was certainly not highlighted on the stream. I'm just farming my camps.
Yeah, whatever. Just one ult, right? Not that big of a deal, I had such a great game too. Give me a break. So we'll give him a little bit of a break. But he's doing fine right now. 0-0-2, just down. I think just one camp, 56 to 50 now. As
yeah, very close for sure. That said, they have secured a very nice but small 1k gold lead in that dragon, and I believe first blood. But TJ's closing in on Abarn.
Yep, great wall there. Will secure the kill there onto Abarn, as Verd will get that. So nice little gank there, and the wall. Maybe obviously it's such an annoying champion because of all of her abilities. So
wow, not just one ability, but all of them. I love it.
Yep. If you can get away from the stun, you can get away from the ultimate, but you can't get away from the wall. One of them will eventually get you. But Hippogriff obviously just fighting back and forth here, not scared at all. He knows that W will protect him. Actually, decides to keep going in. Ultimate is almost up. Could look for the potential ult outside of the tower range, but we'll just push in the wave. Might look to help Korean invade the top side. as
Ah,
Blood will just try to farm.
he traded so heavy. I think they're looking for a dive, yeah.
Yeah, it could be a dive here. Kurian has the run in there. Hippogriff will be taking the tower. We'll have to get away. Should have the W to keep him alive, but that will be a... that's probably a necessary flash there. So there's a great dive there. TJ, that's how it's done. You don't die in those dives. But Spurg now engaging onto Devious using the double flash there. Ultimate there from Nautilus on top. That should be a death. There's a great Morgana ult. Actually, Morgana gets a kill before Jin dies. Romanzil will try to do whatever he can to take down Reform Bully, doing as much damage as he possibly can, but unfortunately Morgana can get away. So such a close fight there, but what a great return from Devious and Form to get the kill out of that.
Yeah, really excellent work from Devin Bully there to kind of turn that into a kill from what was absolutely just going to be a death. Really nice job of them to smack the damage down to Spurg, forcing him to use everything, I believe. But man, that Tristana damage, she's 3-1 now. She's well on her way to, I would assume, Kraken. Excellent. Yeah, they're just in an excellent position in this game, and Caridian's grabbing the Herald as well. They have no intention of slowing down, it looks like. I would expect him to come top immediately after this.
Ultimate there into the tower as Blood will have to flash away, taking away the tower aggro, but Hippogriff should not be afraid since we do have Caridian roaming up here. Blood should be shortly dying here as he's probably going to just get 1v1 here in the Death Realm. So the question is, who's trapped who? As Hippogriff will take down Blood in the top side.
Who saved who, truly? Yeah, Hippogriff has been on it this series on this set with the, oh wow, a lot of damage from Spurg in the mid lane from Bird?
Yep, Verd gets a great little stunman onto Spurg. It's the electrocute proc, as Spurg will just wait for Avon to walk back here. Maybe he might look for a cheeky little gank with the rune prison, but Avon will just look to clear the wave. Tristana might just, back, as this would be a dragon here for Team Bird's the word.
That ward, unfortunately. Otherwise, it looked like they might have done something cheeky with the Tristana.
That's a nice binding there, as Bromenzilla will hook the wall to get away. He should be able to get out of here, no problem. TJ might be going a little bit too deep now. It's Caridian and Abarn here. That's a flash! Great job, ultimate coming over the top two. Abarn will take down Devious now. Ult there on top. TJ should be falling very, very shortly. Bird is trying to get anything done. TJ 1 HP. Ult comes through, tries to take down Bromenzilla before he dies, but Caridian will get that double kill there. That is a great capitalization from the side of Team Coinflip, as Aaron will be gifted the blue buff for his great team play.
Yeah, huge collapse from Team Coinflip there. They had to give up the dragon, but they got so much for it. They got first tower, they got all the plates. I think it might even have knocked on tier 2 top, and they just got all those kills. 10-5 up 4K at like 13.5 minutes. Absolutely killing it.
Yeah, this is such a great game, right? I really am surprised that they just let Avon have this rise, and we see how good he is on this. 1-1-4, up 40 CS in the lane. He has so much utility, not only in his kit, but also with his ultimate, just to reposition not only his team, but minions potentially for a backdoor potential. Spurg, though, might have to be a little bit safe here. Could have a free death if he gets rooted, but he will be fine. But, Caridian doing such a great job topside. A level advantage on Blood, surprisingly. He has the 4-2 scoreline. He does have his first completed item, and he definitely has the pressure in lane as Caridian. Another great game. 2-on-4. Hook does land onto Form Bully, as Spurg will have to rocket jump out of there. Caridian is here, though, to protect his team. Does pop the little, what is it called? It's the wolf. What's it called? Help me out here.
The scrying orb or whatever?
Nope. It's the ability where you zoom really fast when you're a jungler. And you have Predator. That's the one. Predator. Pop the Predator to run down to the bot lane faster. Nope.
We're on different pages. Abar's looking for a TP in the top lane, though.
Yep, ultimate there, as we do see Abarn running top side. Hippogriff might die here, but he should be able to trade this back, as that is so much damage from Abarn. It'll be Abarn in that trade back. Obviously, Blood is happy to get the shutdown there onto Hippogriff, but Caridian now trying to 1v1 Verd as he will get a great ultimate. Fortunately, flash there from TJ should be able to take down Caridian, as he will actually get a great Zanya. Does put the knock up there, as Avon is trying to get here just in time, but ultimate through the top. Avon is now here. Tries to get something back on the turn, but do see the wall there. Verd has to be careful though. 1 Q might be the death of him. TJ low HP as well, so it's a nice 2 kills to 1 for the side of Verd is the word.
Yeah, absolutely. They after he finished those steel caps and the Riftmaker, it looked like Mordekaiser had much more agency in that lane to buck with the set, as it were. And Crittian getting just a little bit caught out there, forced to use his whatever it's called, the pre-zone use item. Jhin is opening up, no avail in the bot lane.
Yeah, unfortunately with the low HP there on Morgana, they have to just fill up the ult in hopes that they can maybe get the wave away, but unfortunately Abarn actually does get a great kill there onto Verd before he dies, so I thought Abarn was just too far up there, but even if he was able to capitalize there onto Verd with so much damage, so I guess good on him for making a good situation out of his mistake, but Reform Bully might just be unfortunately caught out there, not aware that the bot has pushed into their jungle. So, you know, even as Ver's Lord is making some great plays around the map, and is, you know, they're still fighting, they are still relatively in this game, but unfortunately, you know, Team Conflict is just so ahead, as now we do see another ultimate there from Bloodbath and Beyond on Hippogriff. We do have Korean here, though. Hippogriff just needs to stall until he can get away. Great dodge there. Korean now is here to secure the kill onto Blood. One more auto for Hippogriff. He will be able to just make it out of the range of the cube. Bloodbath and Beyond will die again. He must be so frustrated with how this game is going.
Absolutely. I think you can almost see the tilt setting in. Unfortunately, he has not had the best couple of games. Unfortunately, Hippogriff has kind of had his number in these lanes, just almost baiting him and kind of taunting him with the set W and ulting him into tower just as he gains aggro and all of that jazz. You could call it unlucky, but oh my gosh,
Abarn with the BM Mastery Flash, obviously, with the advantages that his team has built. They're about 4k ahead. You have 15 seconds till the Cloud Dragon is spawning. Abarn's team should be set up around this pretty well, as we're using Hippogriff, I think, is just trading there with TJ. Look at just, you know, basically the same amount of HP trading, as TJ will looking to take his wolves before, you know, just be looking to just give this dragon. That's a great binding there onto Abarn. Flashes from Reform Bully, but you see the ult coming in. Actually does save Abarn there. Janelle though will come into the top. Abarn will flash away. Gromenzil gets there just in time to be able to save his. Oh no! No! Hippogriff now is cleared out. He will be able to keep on the target. Bloodbath and Beyond will see keep in through, and Gromenzil will CC him up. Gromenzil will actually screw that kill on the Blood, as now TJ will die. Double kill there, Hippogriff, but oh no, Abarn just gets caught out there. That is such a it's so funny. Abarn, as we know, Abarn does suck, so this is testament to why he does.
I request as many Abarn baddie emojis in the chat as possible, because to me, this is the height of comedy. It does not matter though, because they secured all those kills. They get to mid-tower, they get to dragon. I think there's a word for this. I think it's tempo. There is no stopping in this game, dude.
Yeah, there is just so much, so much momentum on the side of Team Abarn, right? I think that has definitely allowed them to make all these plays, and I think all that momentum has given Abarn a little bit too much of an ego, since he's stepped up a little bit too far, done a few too many times. He's a good player, but he's not that good, you know. There's no faker in the mid lane, you know. That's why we see the Jhin, you know, puts the brings him back down to earth, gets him off his high horse. But you know, as funny as that was a nice pick off there from the Jhin, aware that, you know, Abarn was not that safe, as now Spur gets another kill there onto TJ. Another pick off from the jungle. Vert is here, does not land the root, but he might be the one getting rooted shortly as Abarn is running to him. Actually, there's a great slow there, walls him away, protects himself, as we do see a potential collapse, but ultimate there from Abarn actually catches Spur. He will flash away. He might be able to live, but the burn from the does not burn away. So nice little catch there. Almost takes down Spurred, but topside again, Blood in the 2v1 scenario. Flashes onto Korean. Might be taken down before he can get away, but out of the Death Realm. Ultimate there from Hippogriff. Should be able to take down Blood again. Ult W will finish him off. Hippogriff with a killing spree onto Blood, and it just gets from bad to worse for this team. As now, yeah, could be another 20-minute Baron, but health bars I think are just too low. They should, you know, they should just reset. They've gotten a bunch of kills, spend their gold, don't, you know, go for any coin flip play, and you know, just secure the rest of this game. Since they're up 7k, don't risk throwing the game. Just you know, be smart, as they're doing more of their Death Wish strats, as Gromenzil and Abarn waiting for Reform Billy or TJ to walk up.
Exactly. I feel like it's Abarn's turn now, but the story of this game, at least for the bots as one, has been Spurgy and Gromenzilla. Oh, Bit of a catch
Yep.
here. With
TP here coming in there for Abron, and Simplegriff will be doing the best to make it this damage. He's doing very, very well. Abron will take down Reform Bully in the TP, and we just see alt there coming over onto Devious as the hook comes in. He will fall there to Abron, double kill coming through, but Caridian is here, and they are not done. TJ and Vert have to run. Wall will keep him away, but this only means one thing. It is time for Baron. There's nothing stopping them. There is TJ potentially for a steal, but I think there's just too much damage on the side of Team Coinflip. All 5 memories are here. They can't really 4v5. They will just die and lose even more. TJ trying to step around, ults in, maybe tries to take down Hippogriff before he dies, but he would just immediately die. Blood now could be the one next. Bromanzilla will just be looking to zone him away as the Baron will fall. Red team will secure it. Bromanzilla running in, maybe trying to scare Blood away, but they are not running to the mid lane, as that is a great pick into Baron play for Team Coinflip.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to highlight before everything got so hectic again that Spurg and Bromanzilla have just been camping in these bushes, just daring anybody to walk into their jungle and just like blasting them with the Nautilus CC and the burst from the Tristana. Oh, she is a big hop though. She might go down. She does.
Yep, that's a great catch there. Great binding into the Jin W. Actually, I believe the Jin W was mitigated there by Bromanzilla stepping up, but Avon will be looking to ult in right, actually to the bot lane, looking to take down that tower as Hippogriff will just be hanging around mid lane, but, you know, one shutdown is good. That's why shutdowns are in the game. Gets you somewhat back into the game, as Team Coinflip will look at this bot tier 2, as now there is a roam down. TJ goes in, E coming in from Bloodbath, but there is a TP there from Hippogriff as Jin ult coming in through the top, but there's just not enough damage, unfortunately. As now, Bird will have to flash away. Ult coming in there onto Reform Bully. Ult there from Blood on to Bromanzilla. As now TJ will fall to Hippogriff. Blood will shortly fall here after as Broman gets out of the ultimate. Hook comes in to keep him alive. Will fall there. Double kill going up to Hippogriff as now they're looking to push into the base for an inhibitor.
Yeah, you can just see the respect they're having to put on these fights. This was a 5v4 for Team Bird is the word here, and 3 of them couldn't even approach for fear of just being absolutely one-tapped. And then thusly, they lose the 5v4, and they could lose the inhibitor, but it looks like they're showing a bit of restraint here, not wanting to throw this enormous lead, smartly resetting. They have this game firmly within their grasp.
Yeah, no, it was a great Nivea ult into wall to almost take down Caridian, you know, dispel any potential push there with all the low HP bars. So nice job there. But yeah, this game is almost, I think it's almost unwinnable with how strong the side of Team Coinflip is, right? Not only are they do so much damage, but they can take so much damage, right? Hippogriff's Facebreaker can keep them alive for so long. Obviously, Nautilus is so tanky. And obviously, Caridian has a lot of you know, damage mitigation with his healing. So there's only so much that this for just the word can do. They have to look for a great pick. TJ is going in for the steal. Fortunately, cannot get it. Will just go into his death. It was a valiant attempt. Not sure if he needed to go for it because it's only a Cloud Dragon. Cloud Soul is not the best soul. Might have just been better to try to, you know, find some gold somewhere else. Maybe look for an invade topside, but he will die. He is 4-7 now in this game, and back to the bot lane is Team Coinflip looking to get this bottom inhibitor.
Yeah, absolutely. That was notably, I think, like the 3rd steal attempt and the 3rd smite secured by David, who is having the series of his life right now. He's out of control. He's Gragas Esquire. Put some respect on his name. Look at them go. They do have the wave clear from the Anivia, but I just can't help but feel this is just a few minutes away from being closed out by Team Coinflip here, barring anything extremely interesting, as it were.
Yep, Baron will finish now as there's not any potential for siege. You see a nice E there onto Caridian, who should be able to get away, but there's a great binding there. He will go down the ultimate. Bird should be dying shortly. Ultimate there onto Bloodbath and beyond. There's a great Zanya there from Caridian as the ult comes over from Bromanzilla. Jin ult not coming through, but there's just too much tankiness. Hippogriff just walking straight up to him. Devious will have to back off here. He will die. Tower falls as they will be pushing in. Ultimate there in the back. They're looking to end the game here. Devious now trying to do so much, but there's just too much damage. Abon just blows him right up. Reform Bully is the next one to fall. TJ trying to take down Caridian, but there's too much CC. Double kill there for Abon. Reform Bully 1v5. Can he do it? Probably not. Abon's team looking to end the game, but there might just not be enough minions. If Rebound Bully can clear the wave, but there's another wave coming in. Caridian flashes in. Ace there for Team Coinflip, and this will be the game. Team Coinflip will defeat Vert is the word 2-1.
There it is, man. You said it best. 2-1, stunning style. Abart's team makes it happen when it counts in the clutch, as it were, after a kind of shaky game one, I want to say. Like they had the lead and they couldn't quite figure out what to do with it. And whatever it was, they must have had some like locker room talk or whatever. They did the big pep talk and they got it together. And they had the same early game 3 games in a row, just absolutely beating on them. And Hippogriff again, most damage in the game. Kind of a call out. Is this the Bloodbath and Beyond exposed that we've been waiting for?
I said when I was drafted, I said it when
Okay.
in my look off, Bloodbath and Beyond, not the best top laner. It was proven
Oh,
here. You nullify that top jungle, where's the word just falls apart. And we saw them. That's what they did, and that's what they need to do. That's what every team needs to do to beat this team. If Blood is out of the game, he is out of the game, right? I think Tilt is the best way to take him out. He is obviously still a very good player. He does the most damage on his team by almost doubles the damage of most of his teammates, but we saw what happens when you have a competent team that can play around their top side, right? Hippogriff, most damage in the game. Aaron, obviously, perfect in the mid lane. And, that allowed them to get to this win.
yeah. I don't know if I would take it quite as far as you. I think Blood's quite a nasty laner. It's always nerve wracking to face him, but they seem to have figured out the strat and for sure did. And despite everything, he still did the most damage on his team by a wide margin. Versus the word looking a little lost in these games. The aggression was I think kind of flipped on its head and applied to them rather than them being the ones who were taking the lead right away. And without that early game advantage that I think they're so used to, I think they're going to have to reconsider their strategy.
Yeah, and you might say they're a little bit lost in the sauce there, unfortunately.
Okay.
As
Okay.
yeah, it was just amazing team play, honestly, from the side of Team Coinflip. I'm honestly surprised with how well they played around, just their advantages, how well they played around the map and the objectives, right? I think there was maybe one or two objectives that Team Verse the Word got, but it was mostly just at every single dragon, every single Rift Herald, so many towers went over to Team Coinflip, and that allowed him to get this win, right? Abron
Yeah.
just smurfed in the mid lane. He just got all his champions for free. Hippogriff played weak side top. He just played set, lived for so long, did so well. And Caridian just hard smurfed on these AP junglers. And he proved himself why he's honestly an insane jungler, right? You said it yourself. His thing is AP junglers. Doesn't matter which one, he will smurf on all of
Give him
them.
just ban all 5 AP junglers or whatever. See what he pulls out, dude.
You ban all AP junglers, but you still have Abar in the mid lane, right? So this is a very, very powerful mid jungle duo. And obviously, the rest of their team knows what to do. So Abar's obviously done a very good job with the team, and it will be very, very exciting to see how these teams will meet up in the next match because Bloodbath and Beyond will definitely want to get revenge. I know if I were him, I would want to get revenge so very, very bad. So,
Yeah,
props,
absolutely.
props to Team Coinflip, but
Yeah,
yeah,
huge
that was
props, huge
too much
shout
fun,
outs to
too much fun to
them.
watch.
They came to play, they delivered, they played to their strengths, I think. They knew exactly what they needed to do for the most part, and they executed. And honestly, it seems like it was fairly winning across the board. But also shout outs to Team Vert is the word. I think they showed some pretty interesting draft strategies that maybe didn't pan out, maybe just need a little bit more practice, but they were certainly playing a different game than we were expecting. So I'm curious to see how they take this loss and spin it into a win. And yeah, I guess that's mostly it. Props to Abarn's team for showing that Vert is the word can in fact bleed. It seems like they were maybe coming up as a clear front runner, but after this series, we may have to reconsider the ratings.
Yeah, I think
Also,
the bad conference is in for a bit of a surprise of Team Coinflip. You still can't take away the pentacle there onto Bloodbath and Beyond, right? That pentacle Darius
mhm,
still such a that was the reason why his team won that game. So you can't count them out fully, but if you can play around the powerfulness of your team, you can definitely win these games. So props for that. I would say they did the best they could, right? They didn't go down without a fight. They tried to make as many good plays as they can. They did capitalize on some of the missteps and the overextensions of Team Coinflip, right? We saw how many times Abarn got caught up by stepping up. We saw how many times that TJ came in and tried to go look for a pick. We saw the flashes. We saw the CC change. We saw how Blood tried to do as much as he could, but unfortunately there was just too much of a lead to an insurmountable lead. So that allowed Team
Exactly.
Coin Flip to coin flip heads this time. They did it. They won.
Wow. Yeah, great games from them. I think that is about it for the cast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Monkey, my child. Bless you, love you. Thanks for the games yesterday. And be sure to tune in tomorrow. I believe we have Life for Appa facing up against Control Wards. So a very interesting matchup. I don't know if you want to call it now, but I guess we're wrapping things up. I think it is again 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'll probably see you guys then. Thanks for watching.